What up? What up? What up?
That's good.
Y'all hear
Yep, I can hear you.
me? Man, that motherfucker wild get cracking, man.
Hey, told you use AT&T, not Boost Mobile. We made it. We made it.
Hey, we made it.
We made
Boy.
it. Told you stop using the burner phones to get this shit going, man. You know, hey, you can take
Yes,
the
sir.
nigga
All
out the
right,
streets.
y'all.
You can take the nigga out the streets, but you can't take the streets out the nigga.
All right, y'all. Without further ado, get this cracking. Appreciate
Yeah,
the
we have it,
patience.
ladies and
We
gentlemen.
had some technical difficulties with this live stream saying it was banging with too much traffic. But anyway, we got my man, the Love Alchemist, coming out of Shot Town. You know, he said he got that alchemy formula. And we got Big Real Pete on the scene. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Brooklyn, baby.
And we got my man Dirty Folk straight out the shop on the scene right now.
Dirty folks, dirty folks, dirty folks. Knows your soul, knows your soul. Dirty folks.
And we also want to introduce a special guest we got live tonight. His name is Kevin. You want to say a little bit about yourself before we start?
Yes, sir. My name is Kevin. I just want to thank you, brothers, for inviting me to the show. You guys are doing something great. Poor, brilliant young man, doing great things for community. I applaud y'all. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, so I'm from the Midwest also. I've been staying in Texas since probably 2004. I knew Vaughn from back in the days. We used to work together. Currently, I work for the federal government as an investigator. So I'm just here to give my input.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Glad to have you. And last but not least, I'm Quessy, the fly bow tie guy. And I'm from the Midwest as well. Been married over 25 some years. And I come here to bring y'all some entertainment with the fellas. Straight out in that town. Without further ado, the topic tonight is best marriage options for black men. And my man Vaughn wanted to have this topic tonight. So we're gonna start off with you, Vaughn. Is there any questions you would like to ask Pen, or do you want to start it off with what you got to say about the topic?
Yeah, I don't mind. Well, I'm y'all take a quick minute if you haven't already, and just share the video, man, so that we can make sure that we get it out. Especially since we were starting kind of slow. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just sharing it with a few friends, and we'll see how much more we can generate for this live, man.
Sorry, I can't help you with that. But
you can't even send it through Messenger?
Well, I could, but I think, let me see.
I'll send it to Tribe Up, and then you can share.
Yeah, do us a favor, y'all, and share the video.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, hit the notification button, and share this video. So we had some little technical difficulties, and we started a little late because of that.
Yeah, because right now,
just a moment.
Yeah, right now our count is kind of low, so I think if we can go ahead and share it, if we can all go ahead and share it, then we can get a few more people in there. Ain't no sense of having a show if it's just the five of us, right?
Oh no, man! People are watching on the replay.
Nah, there's people watching.
Don't worry about that.
There's people watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't see him. All right. Yeah.
I
So
got yours on my end.
you ready to get started?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So the title was "Best Marriage Options for Black Men," and a large part of the reason that I came up with that is because there's so much conversation about what Black men should be doing. You know, and there's a lot of encouragement for so-called Black men to date out and ultimately marry out, um, marry somebody other than Black women. We had a show about should Black women abandon Black men. So there's all this conversation that's taking place around what else we should be doing other than doing each other or other than doing ourselves, right? So I wanted to kind of bring this conversation to the table and see if we could discuss it in a way that maybe shed some light on what these realistic options might be. I, for one, I'm not, like I say, you date or marry whoever it is that you ultimately want. You know, I'm not trying to police nobody's bedroom, but I still stand by the idea that ultimately the simplest path toward marital harmony, marriage success, and ultimately what we like to consider generational wealth and all of that stuff, and all of that surrounding that topic rests within those, or particularly us, Black folk, marrying within our own cultural group or within our own ethnic group. So we have a special guest that we brought to the show, and just to share his insights with us as well. So I don't know, Black, how you want to do it. Did you want to go around with everybody else, or did you just want to go straight to the guest? How'd you want to do that?
Uh, we go straight to the guest. Kevin, you want to share your insight, your experience on what you feel is the best uh, marriage solution, options for Black men?
Um, yes, Black, I can do that. From my experience, through high school, through college, you know, through life, right now, I've talked to many different types of women, from Asians, from white to African to women from the islands, and you know, with all that, every type of woman have their different issues, different type of mentalities, different cultures, different ways of doing things. Um, some women, many women, from foreign countries have their different stereotypes or different bias, expectations, demands, things of that nature. I'm with Vaughn, to our community to move forward, to put the best foot forward, for the culture here in America. I think it's best for us to be with our Black American women.
Anybody else got a response to that? P. O.
Um, I say marry the culture you are trying to create, or that best fit the culture you want. I think the Black culture is trash, especially the Black culture that most Black women subscribe to is trash. Um, I think we're trying to save something that's dying. It really is dead. Um, the culture of Black women don't want to adhere to traditional ways. Um, they want traditional men, right? They just want to be modern, which means they don't who they want to be and who they want to be with don't coincide. And I think Black men or men that subscribe to Blackness do themselves a disservice by going after a fetish opposed to what means the most to them. And I was giggling on Vaughn about his shirt because, of course, it was Marcus Garvey who was, pro-Black. Let's do this, let's do that, and end up ending his rest of his life with a white woman because he probably realized the culture of Black women and Black people were not subscribing to sovereignty and being self, sustaining, and realize, that the things he's looking for probably most befitting to him was with a white woman, and he wasn't the only one. Is it James Earl Jones, right? That was the voice, and I remember him doing a video years ago, and it was, there was and even it's crazy. I'll let Oak go more into a song that he was talking about, a chant, but when you look at it historically, it seems like the black woman has always been a complication for black men, regardless of whatever. So, especially men that are inspiring to be not of the victimhood mentality of the black mentality. For some reason, we think black is a great thing when it's really the worst thing, because it's not a race or anything like that. It's really just a culture and a social status. And the social status of black is the lowest on the totem pole. It just is. Black's Law's Dictionary break it down. This is why they always got to keep rebranding. They never rebranded Caucasians. They never rebranded Asians. They never rebranded anybody except black first. First it was Negro, colored, African American, black. You know what I'm saying? But yet nobody is, because, and the only time you can rebrand anybody else is telling you they're the bottom. Like, who the fuck are they to do that? But anyway, back to what I was saying. I just think as a man, he should go to who fits his culture that he wants to create. And if he finds it in an Asian woman, a white woman, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, Caribbean, so be it. And I don't think that it should be, especially this day and age where, black women ain't really trying to, give black men that respect and the love that's due to them and the appreciation that's due to them. Why the fuck would you be somewhere where motherfuckers don't appreciate you? Go where you love, go where you admire. We tell that to black women all the time. We cool when she step outside the box and date whoever. Why the fuck why do black men always got to feel an undying loyalty to someone who's not going to die and be loyal to them? You know what I'm saying?
P, I got a question. When you say
right.
black culture is trash, do you think, are you saying that black American women are trash, and including African women and including island women, or just black American women?
But just black, because the word black means that. So you have to understand, my family's from the Caribbean, right? I know I probably look Hispanic, or motherfuckers be trying to guess my shit. And I'm mixed with so much shit, right? My family migrated from Portugal to British Guyana, which is really South America, but it takes on a Caribbean influence. So they count Guyana as the Caribs. My dad is from Trinidad, but my father was, his father was, what I was told, I never saw, was Indian and black. I don't know if they meant Native Indian or East Indian, but from what I was told, he looked just like my pops, and my pops has features of Native Indian. His mother was half black, what we call half black, half Chinese, but I never saw her neither. I only saw my grandparents on my mother's side because that's the only people that had pictures. My dad never had any pictures, so I never saw him. But the stories of him, I heard. So I say that to say that black wasn't a thing. My mother told me, who was born in the 40s, you know what I'm saying, was like, she didn't hear the word nigga until she came to America. And she said, the culture was, it didn't really matter who you were with. It was just social class. So my mother was probably considered middle to high middle class growing up, because my granddaddy was an architect. And my grandmother, she did, bake bread, made jams, shit like that, sold clothes, made 11 kids. So shout out to my grandfather being a fuck machine, And so I say that to say, black is really only here. And because everybody of skin tone or whatever kind of subscribe to it, and they really don't. Africans don't really consider themselves black. They be like they African. When they come here, they separate. They let you know it's separate. The only time they love you when you come there is because they figure you from America, you got money. But truth be told, when them motherfuckers got money in their head, they do not fuck with you, and they will tell you they not black. They'll tell you they African. You group them together, Shit, your group, motherfucking. I remember black people called Bill Clinton black because he played the motherfucking sax and smoked weed. So, you know, when we say black, the black is the word, the term of it in America is a social status, a social class. Just like it was originally colored in Negroes, they had limited abilities in this country and limited freedoms. This is why they had to they titled them that. Matter of fact, black was also reflected to the Irish, the Jews, and the Italians. They fought like hell to be called white. So we the only ones that want to be black and proud and shit. While everybody else is like, nah, motherfucker, we don't want to be on that bottom level social class. We want to be on the top.
I don't think it was something that we fought for as far as being called black. I think that was a power move by the dominant society. That was a name, that was a title or a social status that was ascribed to you, that was given to you, not one that we necessarily fought for. Because initially, we black Americans, so-called black Americans, fought against being called black too. But when you have power, there it is. So that wasn't something that we fought for or whatever. That was something that actually so-called black Americans fought against initially. And but, you know, huh?
I said maybe. I mean, shit. But then when you try to tell them that, motherfuckers still want to fight that they black. Even they got the knowledge of it. Like you just broke it down that we fought against it because we didn't want to be called black because we understood it was a subjugated term or a subjugated title. And then motherfuckers will still come on here after hearing that shit, doing the research, and still be like, I'm black and I'm proud. Black Lives Matter. The Black Panthers. This, that, and the third black. Black is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So they may have fought at one time, but they ain't fighting for that shit now. They proud. They like James Brown. Say it loud.
Well, it's the same.
Proud.
It's the same trick that. Go ahead.
No, so Pete, so you trying to tell me that island women and African women, they're not trash also? They're just American women?
Oh, I didn't say they weren't trash. I think women across the world have
women across the world are trash. Hold on, check this out.
There we
Let
go.
me tell you something. No. Look, because Tyler's gonna title, man. Look, here's the thing. Y'all ascribe a crayon for everything. Y'all make it a color, a nationality, an ethnicity, a culture, and a social status. Y'all got to pick a fucking fight. So if you asking me if I like black women, now are we talking as a fetish because I like the color? Because I want a girl that's so black, she purple, the bottom of her feet black. In the dark, all you see is her teeth and her ass. But that's a fetish. Or are we talking about, do I want a black girl as a culture? Because black as a culture is just for women, gays, and felons. So do I want to be a part of women, gays, and felons? And no, I don't. If I read above a 6th grade level and they say I think I'm white, and if I speak articulately and they say I'm talking white, then you're telling me that black is dedicated to failure and bottom breeding. Do I want to be a part of that? No. So first, we got to discern if we're talking about a color, a culture, a ethnicity, a nationality, because we're talking nationality, we're American as shit. Everybody anti-American when they black too, but they all got food stamps in Section 8. Call the police when their boyfriend beating them. So you got to figure out what type of bipolar shit we on. Everybody was anti-black when they wanted to be Negro. Until James Brown made I'm black and I'm proud, then everybody was black. Until NWA said we a nigga with an attitude, nigga was falling off. So people just go off the social culture because we're talking culture, and if we're talking culture, we're talking bullshit. So are we talking about a bullshit culture, which means a bullshit toddler, or are we talking about an ethnic group? So let's figure that out first, and then I'll tell you if I want to fuck with a black girl.
I can do that. I mean, I think at this point it's almost, I don't want to say semantics, because I think what you're saying as far as the social construct, I think that's relevant. But I think we all know what we mean when we say Black American women. We could just say Black American women or indigenous Black Americans, however you want to say. We're talking about Keisha from the Block.
Keisha
right?
from the Block. Oh, I'm anti all Keishas.
I'm saying maybe that was a bad example, but
that's a perfect example. You explained it. You explained the example.
My point is, homegrown, foundational Black American women. That's what I'm talking
which are Keisha's, and I'm anti-Keisha.
about. Okay.
So if you want to tell me that black is a color, then I guarantee you that every other nationality of women that are of Tawny or Swarthy descent would disagree, because they Haitian, Jamaican, Kenyan, Senegalese, or whatever the fuck their nationality is, which is why I'm American. So if you're talking about American, now we're talking about a fetish. So if my fetish for an American woman is a dark-skinned woman who subscribes just to being American, I'm with that. If you're talking about a dark-skinned woman that's part of a culture, then I'm straight on that women, gay, and felon shit. I'm straight on it.
Okay. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think, it's just, I don't want to get caught up on the terms as much as, because we know what we mean when we say, when we're talking about the options, right, for Black men or so-called Black men, because we talk all this, this higher level stuff, but when the conversation all boils down to the basics, we know what we mean when we say Black man, Black woman, right?
No, not really, because y'all added in Islanders and motherfuckers from Africa.
But they don't subscribe to that. They don't subscribe to that.
No.
And they call themselves, Trinidadian or Jamaican or whatever. So let's just talk turkey. We don't have to get so highfalutin that we pretend that we don't know what the hell we're talking about. When we say Black man, Black woman.
It was Kevin's question, right? So he was like, his question was, Black American, and then he was like trying to call everybody Black, African, Trinidadian, and then he was trying to group them all together so that was the reason why I was going out of bounds, and then Oak had to interject and be like, no, which one are we talking about? So now...
let me say like this then, Pete.
Yeah.
Sorry. We say like this. So my point wasn't to get in this, this different things, all this is they Trinidad, this, that. You're saying that the foundational black American women, you're trying to say they're trash, but in reality, they're trash.
Black American. No,
let me say. Right. So let me say this though. I dated women from Trinidad. I dated women from St. Thomas. I dated women from Ghana, Kenya, all these different countries out there. The women in the islands, they shaking their ass and shit on camera, twerking all the time, smoking weed. Yeah, a lot of them are worse than some of the foundation. Well, a lot of them is worse than the foundational Black American women. So to pretend that, I don't understand your point to pretend that, the problem is with the women here in America, but the women in the islands are, well, they're clean and holy. A lot of times they come over here, they have a kid already. All the things you say about the women here in America, the women in the islands, they have kids coming over here. The women from Africa have kids. They be drinking, partying, doing drugs, worse than most of the American girls. So I'm asking Pete.
No, I just want clarity.
So I guess I'm asking you. What I'm asking you is that, you're saying that the American girls are the ones who's doing it, the ones who's foundational Black, but the way you speaking is like the islands and the women from Africa, they don't do anything. They're perfect. They come over here. They're the perfect ideal woman. That's far from the truth.
When did I say that? I'm confused.
You insinuated.
I said it who?
I said you made it appear to be that way.
Oh, okay. So we got to clear up what appears and what it is, right? I don't want to be said I said this. All I just said is that men should date with whoever subscribes to the culture they're trying to create or build.
No, my question for you are island women. You said American women are trash. So my question specifically for you,
women, right? You said Black women,
right? So, but you went into that, but you didn't answer my question specifically. Are island and African women? Do you see them as trash also?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, for the most part, a lot of women have subscribed to a modern feminism thought. So that's where the trashness to me comes from, because it's a mindset that is destructive and goes against nature. But I primarily could talk about here because I tend to deal with more, even though that's where I'm from, I tend to deal more from here. And I find that women from the islands and other countries, even though there are women that are trashy that do certain shit, they still maintain a tradition on how men and women interact with each other. But I ain't saying they ain't wild business. Trust me, I know. You know what I'm saying? My pops, look, my pops was a G. Motherfucker told me he done fucked all the Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? So one of the church you fucked with, probably he fucked her mama. I don't know. I'm just saying that shit is wild wherever you go. Women are wild wherever you go. I'm just saying the culture, though, right? The culture that is here is trash, right? Because you said Black America. You threw in Trinidad, this, that, the third, all of these. We're not talking about them because we don't, unless we deal with them and we subscribe to that, then yeah, we more got to worry. We're just talking about here in the USA, because I don't even want to say the Americas, because technically even Caribbeans are the Americans. You know what I'm saying? It's all part of the American continent, and they consider all Americans.
Well, we're talking about dating options, around the world,
Well, I mean, you really got to see. You can't really say dating options.
I'm just asking a question. Yeah, I'm just asking a question because, right, I'm just asking a question.
Within their vicinity.
Not even dating options. I'm talking about marriage options, because we can date anybody.
How many people really be like, yo,
marriage.
I'm here in Georgia, so I'm gonna go marry this chick from Guatemala.
Yeah,
even though I want a Filipino with two wops and shit. I already told you my dream.
The topic of the show is marriage options for Black men. I ain't talking about dating. I'm not talking about who you boning, because we can sleep, we can get around, right? People can get around and do what they want to do. But what we're talking about is something I think a little bit higher than just sex, right? Because I think everybody here has a little bit higher as we can all get sex, right? Sex is really nothing at the end of the day. But if we're talking about something a little more progressive, like building something, establishing something, then I think we're looking to go a little bit beyond just spending $40 or 2 tacos or whatever y'all like to say. So the title of the show is.
Let me ask you a question. You said $40. Gas or asphalt? Which one?
The topic of the show. What I like to discuss is actual marriage options for Black men. That's really where my heart was at, because instead of getting bogged down in all of the, I don't want to get bogged down in all of the.
Here's the thing, right? It's
we
the
know
question
what we're
that Kevin came with, right? So he asked me, do I think these women are trash? Do I think these women are trash? Be honest, most of the dealings of women I have are Black American. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much all I've dated in a majority, right? But what we would call Black American women. Even though my culture, you know what I'm saying, I hung out in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? But then again, they were all different places too, because I forgot. Once they get here and they live here, they're born here or they grew up here, I consider them Black American women. My first girl was from Jamaica. One of my other girls was from Haiti. A couple girlfriends from Haiti. A couple girlfriends from Jamaica. I think 1 or 2 Trinidadians. A couple of Hispanic women.
So 2 questions then. Just based on a lot of the things, because the 3 of us, I mean, before Kevin even got into this, before we even started the show, the 3 of us primarily used to go back and forth, me, Oak, and Pete, and the general sentiment from y'all was that that American women, like Pete, Oak likes to say toddlers across the board, but the general sentiment that I got from you guys is that Black women were a lesser option, and that there were better options outside of Black women for marriage or for something serious or something substantial, something to build upon. So that's why the topic of the show was introduced. What are the marriage options for Black men, right? So that's what I wanted to get into. And so I'll pose a question to you, Oak, because I know people tired of hearing my voice, and Pete, you can talk the most. Oak been quiet. So my question to you
are there better cultural backgrounds out there than the Black American women?
Yeah, that's the question. What options do you see as the best marriage options for the American? I know you hate the term, but the Black American man. We know who we talking about.
No, I don't hate the term. Well, I kind of do hate the term Black American man, because you got to pick a struggle. Are you going to be an American man that has a color, or are you going to be a Black man and worship women? But in either case or whatever case, there is absolutely no option for the American Black man except to tribe up. Women are so inconsequential to relationships. They are the last piece of any relationship. If men do something, whatever men do, if you get 5 men to play video games, there'll be some women like, I'll suck your swiller if you let me play. Women just hate to see men do shit. When men decide that they're going to be men around other men and empower other men instead of telling other men get it off the roof while I give this little chicken head all the resources so she don't need me. When men decide that they were so ain't shit that they rather get their daughters a college plan so she don't need no man, which makes their sons incels because they can't get a girl because they empowered their daughters, then maybe. But it has to be a code, and men create culture because men are the only ones that prescribe to codes. Women don't prescribe to codes. I can tell a girl every day, you're exceptional people get exceptions, and they'll say exceptions should be for everyone, which means it's not an exception, it's an entitlement. Girls can't follow simple fucking instructions. So the only way that you'll ever be able to do that is for men to say, yo, this is what we're going to do. This is the rules of engagement. And if we follow the rules, by following those rules, you will have a culture. I don't care if you're talking hip-hop culture. Hip-hop culture was prescribed to no biting. That was very important to hip-hop culture. Don't steal other people's lyrics. So you had to be creative. They created the culture, the way they danced, the way they dressed. African Bambaataa came out looking like George Clinton. You know what I'm saying? LL Cool J wore troop suits, changed the culture. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was black and proud with X-Clan. They was to the east, my brother. NWA came out and said, yo, we sell drugs and stick up niggas and fuck bitches. And everybody became niggas. Whatever culture you create is a small substratus. It's a subculture of a bigger culture. So when Tony men decide that they gonna say fuck these bitches, it's about what makes us better men. Then women will have better men because they want to suck dick for better men so they'll have somewhere to live. But as long as you keep worrying about a color, you're worrying about a fetish, and you will never build off a fetish. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. You know, I
So, folks, what's the best option? Well, for marriage.
The best option for marriage? Buy a slave. Buy a slave. No, for real. Y'all keep coming, and y'all. I watched this during my lifetime. I remember the 1980s, even though I was a kid, and I see how men subscribe to women since the 1980s, right? So in the
What type of slave?
Whatever slave follow instructions. That's what slaves do. Slaves don't have no fucking rights. Slaves do what the fuck you ask them to do. We all slaves to our employer. If you 6 minutes late, you'll lose your job. I want a chick to treat me like they goddamn employer. So the only way they'll do that is if they my slave, because if they think they my equal, all they're gonna do is fuck my best friend. They're not gonna fuck a stranger because they want to.
Didn't you say black women are less? Didn't you say they're less qualified out of all of the top?
Nah, I'll give anybody a taco. But they can't get that much more. Here's the thing.
Tacos is love.
Food is love. Food is love. And I love me. And they just happen to be there while I'm loving me. So I share a little bit of that love in the form of a
I
taco.
don't think the average black man can afford a slave, though.
Yes, you can. Let me tell you something. Here's the thing. Black men can afford slaves. Can a black man afford slaves? The average black man? No. Can 5 black men together ante up and buy slaves? Fuck yeah. Because what's slavery? Section 8 is slavery. Section 8 says we're going to provide you with housing, and your only responsibility is to pay a light bill. That's it. We'll give you the housing, we'll feed you, but the conditions is you can't make more than $200 a week. If you make more than $200 a week, you'll be ineligible for this free housing. So women are intentionally working part-time at Walmart just to get nail money and keep themselves in bondage just for free housing. Give me 5 dudes, dog. We can ante up and get a building and put bitches in the building like, yo, y'all job is to fuck us when we slide through this bitch. You know what I'm saying? But if you get a job, we gonna kick you out. Them bitches gonna be sucking and fucking like a motherfucker. Men just
That's what you want for the mother of your children, though? That's what
I don't give a fuck about the mother of my children. The mother of my children is the breeder for my seed. Y'all put too much value in these goofy ass bitches. They don't even love their kids. I love their kids. Men is love. Women reflect, project, or weaponize men's love. And most of them weaponize men's love. Men are love. Love is love. I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yep.
Give me my kid. Because it'll be my kid. It's not going to be the state's kid that she gets access to so she can run around. She my slave. It's my kid. My kid gonna sleep in the big house. We good. Don't give a fuck about that shit.
An argument can be made that because I think that type of thinking is toxic personally.
And I believe it is, and I believe that the other way is just as toxic. So let me choose a toxicity that works for me, because the other shit ain't working for y'all. Or we wouldn't be having these podcasts on how you can become a slave to matriarchy to get a bitch. Instead, let me be a slave to this toxic patriarchy, and let's get it in.
Have you found a slave yet?
I've had slaves in my day, but I ain't got no full slave right now. But that's okay. I'll get one.
What did you let him free for?
I don't have no wife right now either. So what's your point? We still fucking Guineans. Like you talk about all the toxic bitches from other nationalities. I fuck the same bitches. You know why? Because neither one of us fucked a virgin since we was very young. So we probably fucked the same bitches. And neither one of us got wives. So goddamn it, neither one of us got slaves. At least I have aspirations for something that can happen on just my strength. I don't have to worry about manipulating her love. I just have to manipulate her housing. It works for me. I'll Section 8 these sluts out.
I mean, that sounds
like
Go ahead, my fault. Go ahead. that sounds like a fantasy.
I'm just listening.
You know what I mean?
It's not a fantasy because it happens every day. If
you know what's a fantasy?
I don't know anybody with slaves.
But here's the thing. But no,
and I doubt that any of us know anybody with slaves.
But how many men are marrying women out of fantasy? They have a fantasy in their fucking head. Women got a fantasy. Oh, I'm gonna fuck 100 dicks, get 4 baby daddies, but I'm gonna marry this man who's gonna take me and my 5 kids that were all made by 5 different fucking felons. And yet we say that's okay. We don't tell her she's a fucking dreamer. We tell her that's cool. That's gonna happen for her. We tell men he gonna find fucking love in a goddamn broad. Yet 80% of divorces about fucking women. Ain't you divorced, Kevin?
Who's telling women that that's cool?
No, I'm saying you're telling Oak that it's a fantastical ideal to want slaves, even though slaves is probably more prominent to have than it is to have a wife. Because a wife, the average marriage lasts 5 to 7 years, and 80% of divorces are filed by women, 90% if they have a fucking college degree. So my thing is, isn't it fantasy to think you're gonna be with one woman and this woman's gonna be loyal to you for the rest of your fucking life? You know what I'm saying? Because of some fucking vows, she can't even fucking keep her word halfway down the street. You know what I'm saying? You tell her don't talk to no nigga. As soon as she get out the building, another nigga got her number.
Can I respond to that? I think that even if you want to call both scenarios a fantasy, if you want to call slavery, because I call that slavery thing a fantasy, I think that's a pipe dream.
And marriage is a fantasy to me too.
Let me finish. Right. I think that it's one of the worst imaginative fantasies as far as I'm concerned. But let me finish, bro. So, but fantasize how you will. That's your mind. You can do with it what you want. My point is this: I think even the fantasy of the latter fantasy that you just described of having love and you know, faithfulness and all of that stuff, that's a more realistic fantasy than the average man coming out here having slaves. I don't see how you going. I guess I have to see your business plan, but I don't see how men, the average man. Now, look, if you're talking about being rich,
we see it today. We see it today, right? We see it today. It's working.
Can I finish, brother?
Okay.
My point though is that I think that if you're a wealthy man, let's say maybe on the level of a millionaire or whatever, then on some level that guy might be able to have slaves, if you want to call it that. But I'm talking about the common man. Like we're having a common man's conversation right here. So all of this fantasy about slaves and all of this other stuff, that don't even relate to the guys in this realm right here.
How doesn't it though? Wait, stop. How doesn't it? Let's be realistic.
You're probably going to
No. When I went out of town, when I was in my late teens, early 20s. Matter of fact, went to college in Savannah, Georgia. When I got to Savannah State, the first thing they said was, "Where you from?" I'm like, "Chicago." They said, "Cabrini Green?" I'm like, "No, not Cabrini Green." But that's what they knew about Chicago. Candyman, Cabrini Green. Okay, so the whole world is familiar with the Cabrini Greens in the 90s, like the whole world is familiar with O-Block, which we call Parkway Garden, in the 2020s. In both situations, you're talking about project chicks. So that means that essentially for them to have housing, they had to go backwards and they had to fuck a strange nigga, have a baby, decide to be a single mother to get housing. If I tell a chick, shorty, don't have a baby, I give you the free housing, you're gonna be my breeder, and you can stay in the house. All I did was reverse Section 8. That is very plausible to do.
But you consider that to be slavery?
What's going on, internet land? I want to send a reminder to Cash App Tribe Power and donate some love to these gentlemen that's giving their time and their passion. Enjoy the show.
You consider that to be slavery? That if you buy a house, I want to make sure I heard you right. You're saying if you buy a house or a building.
Because I understand what you're asking me. Because what you said, no, check this out. The thing about Tony men are they're taught Disney love. Men are taught to love a woman and marry her. Women are taught to find a baller and be pretty, so he loves her at first sight to give him all this shit. However, when they go into the real world, when they're not trying to trap a man and they're trying to outman a man, they become corporate slaves. We call it corporate slavery all the time, right? So then they're in a position that they have to work for their bread and meat. And they're still arguing about quote-unquote living wages because they get just enough money to pay their bills and get back to work. They might be able to go bowling. So they already ain't got no bread. They busting their ass to be a corporate slave in order to pay for housing so they can get back to work next week. All I'm saying is, I got a list of tasks and duties for you to do. I'm going to bust your ass. I'm going to work you tasks and duties just like your employer. But instead, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. And I call this slavery, but maybe you guys will disagree. The Pullman porters were that was the best job for a black man in the turn of the century, to be the porter of a train. Charles Pullman came right out here to Chicago, bought some unincorporated land right on it's the south side now, but at the time it was unincorporated, and built what we call the Pullman district, but back then it was called Pullman Town. The only way you could live there is if you were a Pullman porter, and you could put your people in there, and he gave you affordable rates for a house. So now he controls your housing and your employment. Through a grocery store up there, he controls your food too. So this one man controls your entire fucking life. And you're happy about it because it gives you an opportunity to feel some type of emancipation. All I'm saying is, man, Charles Pullman is back, baby. Except, you know what I'm saying, in our particular case, the guys that tribe with me will pay for it the same way that Section 8 is paid for by taxes. They take taxes out your check. But if I was in a gang, crew, clique, frat, biker club, you know what I'm saying, etc., I would have to pay dues. And the dues I pay for the security to my gang, crew, clique, frat, tribe. It pays for the jacket. I still have to learn the system of this gang, crew, clique, frat, tribe. No different than becoming an American, and you have to become naturalized. You have to learn the Constitution. You got to learn the Constitution of your gang, clique, frat, tribe. And man, check this out. You'll get you'll be rewarded the wages of a craftsman for learning your craft. So all I'm going to do is grab a couple of guys that understand what the fuck I'm talking about. And then, man, we'll have a pool of chicks that got a man. Shorty, look, as long as you broke, you here. You know what I'm saying? I keep your hair done, nails, and all that. No dough. Wake up tomorrow with $2 in the pocket, she's liable to go crazy.
Go crazy.
Okay. I'll pause for a minute because I know I've been doing all the asking. Kevin, Black, either one of y'all got any questions?
Yeah, I just want to say this. Everything. Everybody have their theories, and everybody have the mentality is this the way we should do. Like, we should have slavery. We should date Asians, but a lot of times that's not reality. A lot of these women out here.
I said, isn't marriage a theory?
Yeah, but let me say this right here.
9% of African American women. 9%. That's less than 1 in 10.
Let me say this right. Let me say this right here, folks. Let me say this. We can say all this stuff, but on reality of things, when you approaching a woman, any type of woman, I don't care if she's Asian, I don't care if she's from America, if you can't communicate with a woman, or if you can't communicate with a woman, or if you have your life together, if you have yourself together, many times, these things are just this fantasy, because when a woman, when they come for a man, like you said, they want to, when they stay mature and wise, they want a guy that's stable. They want a guy that having stuff together. They might have made mistakes in the early 20s. They might have made mistakes in the early 20s and even their teens. But once they wisen up, I'm
not signing up for stepdaddy season. This is what I'm saying. This is how color dudes think.
I don't think anybody was talking about stepdad. I don't think anybody was talking about stepdad.
Nah, you talking about she might have made mistakes. I bet you them mistakes.
You talking about her being pregnant or got fucked by 100 dudes?
I don't know. Let's ask him what he was talking about.
I'm not saying that.
So Kevin, what were you talking about when you said she made mistakes?
Well, I'm just saying that any type of mistakes, but I'm saying in general, women,
make mistakes.
What are
you talking about?
Right. But in general, like you saying that it's stepdaddy season. How old are you? In your 50s?
So you think, hold on, but can we clarify the mistake?
So you believe that you would get hold up. So you believe that you would get a girl with no kiss? I'm just saying, do you believe that you would get a girl with no kiss?
I don't mind answering. I'm just saying, can you answer the original question? What mistakes are you talking about?
What's the original question?
The original question was
mistakes could be mistakes of talking to the wrong guy. That's not necessarily meaning having a baby by the guy, but they might talk
in and out.
So now we're on what girls call statutory rape, right? You're talking about if I'm 50, I got to date a chick that's 50. I got all these resources. I can't be a sugar daddy.
No.
The way that look, okay, but you're going in and out, bro. I'm gonna let you have your turn, but you're going in and out. We can't hear you.
Okay, your connection is bad, Kevin.
Your connection is bad, Kevin.
Log out, and then log back in. That works. It generally works. Like, exit out. You want to exit them out, crazy, and then bring them back in.
Look, at the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, y'all keep telling me about communication and love and when she get grown. First of all, they perpetual toddlers. They eternal toddlers. That's why I say, I know you ain't say it, but that's why toddlers gonna toddle. What they want is they want to have adult entitlements, but be treated like 4-year-olds. They want you to feed them, clothe them, entertain them, house them. They want everything your daughter wants, but they want to say, but I'm grown. That's fine. I don't need to communicate with that because I can communicate with my dad all I want, but my dad is my dad's rules. He's my dad. That's how hierarchy works. But my issue with colored men is when y'all talk about what men should do, it's macro. But then when y'all describe it, it's micro, it's individual. So when I say, yo, me and 5 guys can own slaves, that is tribal. Y'all skip tribal. Y'all go straight from how do we cater to these toddlers? You know what I'm saying? In order for us, like it's our fault. Like all these chicks ain't got 2 wedding proposals in their 20s and turned it down because they thought they could do better. And now they 40-year-old great grandmas talking about men don't want to get married. That's not men. That's women. Every single woman has a story about 2 marriage proposals. Every single one.
No way.
So it's not that men don't want to get married. It's these chicks don't want marriage.
Can we move to football though? I mean, you even with the slavery that you talked about, what women are you going to choose for those slaves?
What's that background?
It doesn't matter. I don't have to choose women. Women choose slavery every day.
Which women are going to be the most available for that slavery? That
I don't give a fuck. I don't need a girl that knows how to read. Look,
I mean, it kind of matters.
It does not matter. It does not matter.
What women do you think are more likely to sign up for the servitude that you're talking about? Which women will opt into that? Which women are more available?
34% of women already sign up for it.
I'm talking about for us, for you,
it
for your
don't matter.
program.
It don't matter.
Don't matter.
It don't matter. Girls will sign up for slavery every single goddamn day as long as you market it as something different.
We saw the meme, right? We saw the meme. We saw the promotion of the show. You had Asian women up there. You had black women. You had white women. You had Latino or Hispanic women. Like what women? If you're talking about setting out for this project, right, where you're gonna set up slavery or servitude or whatever it is you're talking about, which women are most likely to sign up for this program that you're talking about? There has to be a woman.
No. I can answer that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm trying to keep the conversation basic.
I just want the Filipino women with the box, that be cooking in the jungle, but they say Pete have fantasies. Hey.
I can answer that. What type of women would sign up for slavery? What type of woman signs up
Your
for
slavery,
120?
not any slavery.
No,
Your
no, no,
slavery.
no, 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 no. My slavery is my slavery. How many? So you're saying my slavery is worse than another person's slavery?
I'm
That's
not, no,
marketing,
I didn't
sir.
know.
That's
I didn't put a
racist,
value
sir.
on it. No,
That's
no, no, no,
racist,
no.
sir. You
Come on
did. You
now.
said who gonna sign up for my slavery? Women
But I
sign
didn't
up
put
for
a label
no,
on
no,
it.
no, 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 no,
I
no,
didn't put a
no,
label on
no,
it
no,
as better or worse. I said your slavery. So in other words, if you
The
want to call
same,
marriage
the
slavery,
same women that sign, the same women that sign up
now
for
we getting
student.
somewhere.
No,
Let's
no,
get
no, no,
into
no.
it.
Okay, the same women that sign up for student loan slavery, so they can have to pay $120,000 back for a degree they'll never use. The same women that sign up for Section 8 slavery. The same type of women who sign up to be Hebrew Israelite chicks so they can be one of 3 sister wives.
So black women.
Women sign up for whatever. You want motherfuckers to sign up for a woman that want to be more man than me, than want me to
You know,
outman her.
you didn't.
I'm
You
not
know,
I
signing
want
up
you
for
to do
that
what
shit.
works for you. I want you to do what works for you. The question is
And
on the
that, but you're
table.
asking me, and I'm telling you, there's way more broke bitches than it is chicks with doctorate degrees. Any broke chick could do. It doesn't really, well, not fat ones because I got a fat phobia, but any fit broke chick could do. It doesn't matter. Y'all making it seem like a man saying, you know what, men building with other men and girls come with the grind. Like there's something wrong with men just grinding and getting the girls that look for him. When in reality, that's natural selection. That's natural selection. Women will find you. No matter what you're doing in life, women will find you. There's a chick right now scoping out a dude that's an engineer while her roommate is scoping out a dude that plays athletics, and their best friend that they eat lunch with in the cafeteria every day is scoping out some dude who got MMA and just got a job with the city. And all of them are looking for a man to provide so they can do the minimum and live the best life possible. All I got to do is offer what I offer. People gonna take what they take. I can't, you know. Look. Things always work better when you get chosen. Y'all want dudes to choose people who don't want to be chosen.
I don't want you to do anything.
No,
I
I'm
just
just saying.
stated what I think the best options are.
You're saying the
You do
best
what you
option
want.
by ethnicity. I'm saying I'm American. So an American system with American rules. They say America is a corporation. So set up a corp. I got a whole class called Marry Your Secretary to teach men how to vet women and how to get the most out they toddler.
So secretary, and not slavery.
Secretary of slavery.
All you're doing is rebranding it. Think about it. HR department, what is it? You work for a company, they have an HR department. It's called human resources.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Right? Meaning human beings are the resource for whatever they need to do. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, you only think slavery is chattel property, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But you, at the same token, here's what's crazy. You believe that we're enslaved when we talk about Section 8 and welfare and the system and how we sheep. Oak is
I didn't say
presenting
that.
the same. No, you do. Any other time we talk, you bring that up and you make
I
it
never
seem
called
like
it slavery.
we're enslaved.
I never called it slavery.
Well,
I
a
don't even
form
refer
of
to it as
slavery.
slavery.
Okay. A form of oppression, which is a form of slavery anyway. What Oak is stating is I'm doing the same shit. Instead of calling it Section 8, he's just calling it Section 9. But it's the same shit. I provide your housing, and you have
You
to
still
do
got to
exactly,
choose a woman, though.
huh?
What woman? What woman? I want to.
No
I
matter.
just
It
want to have
doesn't
a
matter.
basic
Any
conversation.
woman, but here's the thing: it doesn't matter. See, it doesn't matter.
Matter, yeah.
And
You're a statistic.
your choice of your choice statistically, you're going to have
Yeah.
the choices that are available.
No,
So
but you're.
yes,
Okay,
it could be out of
That's a perfect
impoverished women who need housing, right? And I'm gonna tell you, the shit is gonna happen in about 3 years. So what he's saying ain't too far fucking fetched. It's gonna be more likely than your perspective about marriage, because marriage is out. Traditional marriage is out.
Have you found a slave yet, Pete?
Have I found a slave? No, not yet. But once my money come up, I'm going for it.
So
Do you have a wife?
I guess some interviews on.
No, I'm asking, do you have a wife? I answered you
I
about that slave. Do you have a wife?
don't have a wife. No.
All right, so then both you and I are on the same boat, because you're looking for a wife, I'm looking for a slave. We both haven't found them yet. Even.
So my question for you, you're in your 50s, right, Pete?
No, 46, man.
46. Oh, my bad. But so how's your dating life right now, man? You know, with the different. You said I remember last time you said Asians was a good option and white women. What's your dating life now? With how's it
Actually,
right
no,
now?
since our last show, I've been really more interested in Asian women. So
How's that going? How's that going for you?
Just kind of got the fetish about a few weeks, so I just haven't been out to meet them yet. But that's not a problem. Women, but regardless, I'm gonna say this. Let me just clear this.
No. Hold up. I'm asking your question.
I'm gonna answer it like this.
Okay.
Bitches have never been a problem for you, boy. I've been fucking since I was 11. You know what I'm saying? And I could fuck any woman of any nationality as long as I lay my shit down. It don't matter if I'm a fat motherfucker.
So you think right now?
Hold on, let me clear it up, because you want to either invalidate or validate whether I could talk about women or not. I've been doing this shit since I was.
I never said that.
Matter of fact, I was getting my dick sucked since I was 9.
That sounds like some insecurity since I never said that.
No, I'm saying this so you would understand that.
But you said I said that, though. I never said that to you.
You're trying to validate if I.
No, I never said that. I never said that. That's insecurity.
I'm gonna say this. My whole life, I've always wanted black women. My favorite looking woman at a very one time was Nia Long. And guess what? My high school sweetheart looked just like her.
Right. That's cool to get 11 and 13.
Hold on.
What type of women are you pulling now?
I'm trying to finish.
I just want to know right now.
Bitches, all of that. So what I'm saying is this. My taste has changed. Right? My tastes have changed.
What you pulling right now?
I'm looking
at this stage of 46 years old, you saying that what type of women are you pulling right now?
Well, last woman I dealt with was black, and I just kind of got rid of her like last week.
Are they 4s, 3s, 10s? They got kids or what?
The one she had kids. I mean, usually once they pass 25, usually they have a kid right after high school. It's usually a gift that they get. But
why are you going hard on the women with kids and you talking to women with kids?
Well, who's going hard on women with kids? Come on, bro.
I'm just saying.
No. We on the subject about marriage and what's available, and all you're doing is asking me about who I date, what I date, who should I be dating, who is it. I just explained to you.
Right. So I'm asking you this question.
Hold on. No, bro. Because your questions are irrelevant and they're not going nowhere.
No. I'm asking this question real quick. So
no, I'm not going to answer
it. 46? No, you say you're 46.
I'm stupid. I'm not answering it.
Go ahead.
So at the end of the day, you say whatever options, right? I live in Atlanta. I'm originally from New York. I'm used to a plethora of women being of different races and different culture. I also grew up Caribbean, where different races of women and men were in my family. So I'm saying that it is nothing. It is the same shit across the board. I'm more likely to get women of a different nationality because of my articulation.
Have you though?
Hold on, my articulation, because I can pass the 6th grade level, right? My good looks, my charm, and eventually my financial status. So I'm gonna have whatever. I don't give a fuck if I gotta pop a blue pill to fuck bitches. So what? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. Like I don't understand what the fuck it is, man.
You said that you. But you say you never dated. But you say you never dated any woman outside of
I this shit I could take the blaze back out. So it don't fucking matter. 60, 75, I'm gonna do the same shit. It don't fucking matter. I'm comfortable with it. I don't need a woman to validate shit for me. You know what I'm saying?
So at this stage of life, are you getting the results that you want?
And what?
Getting the women that you want.
I can get women. Look, here's the thing.
Now be honest.
Let me explain this to you. Right now, I'm not looking for results from women. Why do men have to validate their life through women? I'm not. I'm trying to clear this up because you keep trying to validate me or invalidate me based on the women.
I didn't say that. You sound insecure, man.
I didn't say that. Your question, I'm saying this question. You never say, yo, Pete.
You sound insecure.
Are you happy with your financial status? Pete, are you happy with so-and-so? Yo, here's my no, let me break this down to you. Here's my primary focus. I have a son who's about to turn 17 in 2 months. Okay? There are things that I have to deal with to ensure that he has a promising future. I don't give a fuck about bitches because they come and they go. I get the pussy.
You don't matter because they don't talk to you.
I don't need. Look, here's what you don't understand, bro. You may need women. You may need them. I only want them.
So you say you don't need women, but you would talk to a woman with 7 kids.
Because I want the woman. I don't need her. So her and her fucking son.
I would never talk to a woman with 3 kids.
There's a difference between need and want. Motherfucker, you need them. You need to validate yourself with it.
No.
I don't. I talk to a woman with 3 kids. I talk to a woman with no kids. I talk to a woman with 2 kids. It don't matter, bro.
You talk to those women with 3, 4 kids because you can't get the other ones.
What are you talking about? How you said I don't get the other ones? Only person I dated was just that one chick recently, and it's because of fucking COVID. It's 2020. Motherfucker, I live in Atlanta. I fuck with women
like I said again, you talk to a woman with 3 or 4 kids because you can't get the other one.
Kids. Look, bro, because I'm only there for certain things, bro. That's it. It don't matter if she got kids or don't got kids.
You sound like a 17-year-old.
Don't matter.
If a guy getting
like
women, he don't gotta say it. He don't gotta say it.
Look, here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna tell you, this is what I feel, right? I feel like the only person you coming at is me. You ain't trying to talk to Hope. You ain't trying to talk to Quezzy. You ain't trying to talk to Vaughn. So is me. So obviously you got something fucking personal.
No, I got a person against you.
No, you do, because you bringing up shit that ain't on this fucking video, on this fucking podcast. You bringing up shit on other shit. That means you have fucking intent to come at me about some bullshit that ain't even relevant to the fucking conversation. And all you asking me is who the fuck I'm fucking. If I'm not fucking you, why the fuck are you worried?
Man, nobody.
You the one bringing up who I want to fuck. So you bringing this shit up.
You the one that said that you get women.
No, bro, I'm saying
I never said that I get women. You trying to validate that? You just said that I get women. I've been fucking since you 11 ago. You said that.
How about you ask me what I'm building?
You said that you trying to validate yourself.
You don't ask me what I'm building.
I'm gonna tell you about you.
No. Let's get off the woman shit. Ask me what I'm building.
I'm gonna tell you this right here.
Okay.
You trying to validate yourself.
You only worried about women. You
right.
About women,
Let me say this.
I
don't trying to validate yourself. This is how you did it. You said 11, 13 years old. You've been getting women. You've been fucking women since you was 11 or 13. I never said that. You said that.
And if you want to count,
you're saying that you're from New York.
And let me
you're saying that you're from New York and Atlanta.
If you want to count the woman that
I didn't tell you that.
I didn't say that. Bro, hey man, hey, yo. This ain't even the conversation no more.
Let me finish this right here. Let me finish this
part. Do your job, Black. Do your job, Black.
Let me finish this right here. I'm gonna finish my point right here. You know, I think for Pete, you know, I think he's a very insecure man. I think that he's not getting the women that he's claimed that he got when he was 11 years old.
Can you block this, Quezzy? Because this is not what it's about.
Yeah,
no, Vaughn. This is your boy. You brought him on. This is why.
Let's change directions, man. Because I don't want to make it personal. I don't want this to be personal.
Listen, y'all.
I kind of want to go in the direction of just kind of analyzing, because we love statistics, right? I kind of want to go into the direction of what we were looking at as far as what our realistic options are. And the average guy, I get where Oak is going with the slavery piece, right? But the average guy ain't looking at that. The average guy just wants him a woman or 3 or however many he feels that he can get, right? The average guy just wants whatever he wants in a woman, right? So what I'm saying is, what are the realistic options as far as some type of long-term success, some type of building, some type of foundational thing where we can actually build something substantial with a woman? What are our options as Black men? That's what I kind of want to know.
Who you asking? That's this.
Hold on, I'll take that.
Let's go with Oak, because Oak.
I'll take that one.
And before you do that, Oak, because I interrupted Black. So
hey, before O go, everybody read the private chat.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
All right, look, this is the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
What I have realized, because y'all, man, it don't matter. Look, what I realized, because y'all seem to be wanting to do some red pill content. Then you have to say the average man. So I can't speak on average man, right? Because I get bitches. So all my friends get girls. Now I can say I have a bunch of good friends, right? As a man, judging other men, I think they're good men. But women may not feel they're good relationship material. They got multiple cars, a home, a great job, and girls may say, man, I want to sleep with him, but I don't want the responsibilities that he's asking me to do in order to be with a person that's already self-sufficient, right? And my friends today benefit, because a lot of them already been in failed marriages. They'll say, I don't mind a girl that has her own thing because I ain't taking care of another chick, right? So that's a symbiotic relationship for them, and they'll never get married. But his bed will always stay warm, right? Their beds will always stay warm. So but on the flip side, you're talking to a lot of guys who are forced to be incels because there's a lot of men who empower women to not need men. In order to be married, you have to have somebody that's in a superior position and a inferior position, or you can call it a sub position, a dominant position. You can call it a hierarchy, however you want to say it. No two people are equal. Y'all keep yelling this equality, but there's no two people that's equal. I'm not equal to my friends. I have a particular skill set that complements their particular skill set. And on any given day, one of us will play the lead based on where we are, right? So in order for marriage to work, women always want to be in the submissive position when they're looking for marriage. Always. So if the average man wants to be married, then the average man needs to quit helping chicks and starve these whores out and help their guys so that you go back to a living wage marriage. Instead of all these chicks talking about, I can't marry dudes that make less than $150,000 a year. Go back to, when I speak to other ethnic groups, through my employment, when I speak to other ethnic groups and I speak to women of other ethnicities, you'll be amazed at how many white women, because that's what black women really want to be. You'll be amazed at how many white women have pigs and chickens in the backyard. You would not be amazed at how many Mexican women have chickens in the backyard, because you see that even in the city. There are people who say, okay, cool, you make $46,000 a year, but we live a $30,000 a year lifestyle. I'm comfortable. We'll never be rich, but it's me and you, shouting. Then you have black women who watch too many rap videos and say, man, every man has to be $500,000, and I want him to buy a chef, and I want that man to buy a babysitter, and I want that man to buy a housekeeper because I need a wealthy man so I don't have to do shit. I don't want to do shit, B. I just saw a post from a chick yesterday, 43 years old, with a 26-year-old son talking about I'm ready to let a man lead so I can be in my femininity. Bitch, you're 43. You 2 weeks away from menopause. Don't nobody want your ass. Not for marriage, unless the nigga's 60. Because the purpose of marriage is procreation, so you can raise your kids under the same house. Y'all make it about love, but marriage is about
I'm with you on that. I think marriage is for children, primarily.
Hey, Pete, check your Facebook, your private Facebook.
My who?
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. Oh, I think
The private Facebook chat.
and
Yeah,
people,
I'm
can do what they,
Wait. Liz, check this out.
people can do what they want to do as far as
What I'm saying,
getting married at 50 and 60 years old. I'm not knocking that.
I want to address the
This
chat. I want to
marriage is
address. Wait.
primarily for
One second. I just want to address the chat real quick. Liz says, so basically, it's oak like the tree, not oak like the breakfast. But anyway, said Oak and Gorilla saying black women are only good for sexing and not marriage. What I am saying is black women only provide sex and they refuse marriage. Oak ain't say that black women only good for anything. Sex ain't all I want unless sex all you got. Oak says every show I need a girl that can follow simple fucking instructions. And girls keep saying following instructions is submission, and then they wake their ass up at 6:30 in the morning, get their kid ready so they can get back to breakfast at school, to go to their employer and not be 6 minutes late, so they can follow simple fucking instructions for 8.5 hours. Then get them and pay for after school care, pick up their kid at 6 o'clock, and then try to make a dinner. Y'all make shit difficult because y'all don't follow the dick you suck. Follow instructions, suck the dick, and then follow instructions, and then you'll be worthy of marriage. Y'all can't do both. Y'all can fuck a nigga or help a nigga, but you can't do both. That's a you thing. That's not an Oak thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna jump on what Oak said, right? And I pulled these stats. Somebody that posted on my Facebook, and he shared something like somebody else. You know how that go, right? Somebody posts something, they share, right? So it was some stats, and they said they got it from Pew Research, and I went in there myself and looked at it, right? So, what did he say? Let me pull it up so I can give you the accurate numbers. And it was said, hold on. It was said that according to Pew Research, it suggests that 54% of women do not want to marry, or don't want to remarry. Only 50% of women do. 24% are certain. 60% of marriages take place between the ages 20 and 25 and will end in divorce. Marriage marriage after the age of 25 has a 24% greater chance of ending in divorce, of not ending in divorce. So I pulled up Pew Research, and can you still see me?
Yeah, you in.
All right, cool. So this was dated, and I'm gonna put it in the chat so y'all could see it in a private chat because I don't think I could post in the other chat. It says being married. It talks about how essential it is for both men and for women. So for being married for men, only 16% feel is essential, whereas for women, only 17% feel it's essential. 54% equally feel that it is important but not essential. And then 29% men, 28% women feel that it's not important at all. I could go
This is across the board, right, Pete?
Say that again.
This is across the board, right?
Yeah. This card. That's why I broke it down in men and women. Hold on. Where the fuck?
To answer your question in Comedy Report, 14% of black women are married, 26% of black men. I'm talking under 50. I'm not counting the baby boomers who sleep in separate bedrooms. They can't fuck. 14% are married, but only 9% are married to their. Only 9% are married to their first husband, and the other 5% are remarried. So, you know what I'm saying. So if you think that you'll get a woman to be your wife and happily ever after to death do you part, it's 9%. But I want to answer Liz's question. Liz says that she thinks that I'm husband material. I think every man is husband material. You know why? Because every woman thinks she's wife material and that she makes the choice. You can't even tell these fat bitches that's stuffing blubber into a body shaper that they fat because they talk about body positivity. If every woman is a good woman, then every man is husband material. So suck the dick that you like and put a ring on it.
I don't think that. I don't even think that that's a realistic answer, to be honest. I mean, I think that those two, like, you know.
What's going on, Internet land? I want to send a reminder to Cash App Tribe Power and donate some love to these gentlemen that's giving their time and their passion. Enjoy the show.
Hold on.
One thing is not. Hold on. Let me finish.
I was just gonna say about donations. Yo, Crazy wants more hats, more bow ties. Please donate. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I think
more bow ties for Quazy.
That question. That question that
if Vaughn wants a high top fade, but you know, I don't know if we can help.
Man, it won't grow back, man. The roof gone, bro. The roof gone.
I can see doing the Big Daddy Kane dances back in '89.
Hey, Black stole my thunder, man. I'm usually the hat guy, but Black stole my thunder, man. But look, I don't think those two things are necessarily like, I think those two things can be answered individually. So do, like the question that Elizabeth Taylor asked, do you think you are husband material? Just because all black women, even if you think all black women are unrealistic, that still doesn't mean that our answer to that question has to be unrealistic. Right? We know that realistic. All men.
No. I have a cousin that's been married twice. I've never been married. I have a cousin that's been married twice. And both times he's been married, he was fresh out the penitentiary with an ankle bracelet on and found a chubby bitch to put him in the crib, and they had a what you call it, Secretary of State or City Hall wedding. He been married twice. He a 2-time divorcee. This nigga's 37 years old. So you can't tell me everybody can't get married. If this nigga got married twice, then
I didn't say everybody can't get married, bro.
So every man is husband material. If that felon ass, unemployed, been in jail 13 out of 15 years, can get married, anybody can get married.
You know what? When you go back to the reason that that our grandmothers stayed married as long as they did, in large part they stayed. Many of them, because I know that all the marriages weren't bad, but there were a lot of marriages that were horrible. And but the women didn't have. Many of those women didn't have the types of options that women today have, right? So they stayed. They stayed for their own reasons, right? But there was a motivation. That motivation, in many regards, was food and shelter, right? Today, women don't quite need that to the same extent from us as men that our grandmothers needed, right?
Okay. Here's my comeback.
Let me finish the point.
Okay, go ahead.
So then now today our relationships are going to be built on something that's a little bit more shaky, if you want to call it that, and it's going to be feelings, right?
No.
On some, let me finish.
I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, feelings is not. I'm not saying that feelings is a healthy foundation to build marriage on. What I'm saying is, if marriages are a lot more likely to fall apart if the person doesn't feel good being around you, is what I'm saying. So these days, if you have a wife, or if you have primarily wife, let's just stick with wives because we're talking about women. If you have a woman that's in your life and she don't feel good about being around you, or even more importantly, you make her feel bad, like P said, his dad was nailing everything down that was in Trinidad or whatever the town was. Like women these days,
to me, though.
There are some women that will still deal with that, but for
me.
the most part, the average woman is not sticking around for that type of toxic behavior. Now, Pete called him a G. Pete said that was G behavior. Pete made it seem like that was ultimate man behavior. But in reality, what we're upholding in that type of thing is very toxic.
He just kept it 100 with me. I said he was G because he kept it 100 with me. Like,
okay, I got you.
Yeah, when he
said
said that shit, I didn't even. That came from my pops. Like, I didn't even expect him to say.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to bash your pops. I'm just saying that because that wasn't uncommon for men to do what they did back then. It was multiple families or whatever. But I'm saying women are less likely to tolerate that now. So what's going to be sustainable now?
So wait, let me ask you a question.
I'm not saying that women won't tolerate it at all.
No. This is what I'm asking you. What I'm asking you is, so you're saying, no, I'm gonna let you.
Let me just land the plane, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm saying is ultimately that if a woman is being cheated on and mistreated, there are women who will tolerate that. But like you just said, 80% of divorces are filed by women. That's indicative of the fact that if a woman is not feeling good about the arrangement, she's more likely to bounce. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so women always feel bad. They wake up in the morning, they have 15 mood changes, and all 15 times they 15 different people. Nobody care about how girls feel. You just shake and weave until you get the happy one come back. Look, if the foundation, because now you're talking about new norms, right? And I don't believe in new norms. I believe in the same old nature. If I'm not saying all marriages are good. Like I said, there's a lot of boomers that sleep in separate bedrooms. I'm not saying all marriages were good. What I am saying, the foundation of that was that he provided, she couldn't afford to leave, so she stayed. So as long as she ain't arguing too much, he happy as shit. Fuck how she feel. I want to be happy. What you're telling me is that she can have 5 kids by 8 niggas because you got to count the abortions, and I need to find the good in her. But I can't be like, okay, but I can't be like, yo, G, this is what makes me happy. And
how y'all do these extremes, bro?
No, but that's what we. That's what we at. Okay, she can have 1 kid and an involved baby daddy that caters to the kid, but I still have to accept that, and now I have to make a blended family. I don't have to do none of that shit. I don't have to do none of that shit. None of that shit.
I just want to say this.
Yeah.
I just want to say this. You know,
what?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mute your mic.
Oh, you got muted for him, Quasi. You can mute him. Bad.
Okay. I just want to say this. Just in life, there's bad women out there. There's good one out there. You know, I met my fair share of pretty bad black women, but I met some brilliant ones. Some smart, intelligent, feminine, black American women, you know, from high school until now. But I know for sure, you know, for the good ones, the good quality ones that have their stuff in order, they look pretty, you know, they're not going to talk to somebody who's not up to par. So if you're 400 pounds, they might not talk to you. If you don't have a good career, they might not talk to you. If you sound like an asshole, you're not fun to be around, they might not talk to you. You know, there's different dynamics when you're approaching a woman in different ways. So, if you're not getting the women that you want or the results that you want, maybe you need to work on yourself in many different ways. Because these women, so if you're 500 pounds and you want a good woman, you better have a good career. You better have some money. You better be very charming and very jolly, because you might not get that woman. You might get the woman with 8 kids on Section 8. That's maybe what you qualify for. That woman who has no kids and she's looking good. She's a dime. She's an 8 or 7. You know, a mature woman will overlook you.
Man, the mature women, the easiest ones to get, man. They're nothing easier to get than an 8 and a 2. It's the 6s that's hard to get. Look, y'all, but you getting 10s? Fuck, I fucked 8s and better since I was 18 years old. Look, what I am saying is that now you telling me that I have to be, once again, now you talking, you got to be rich in order to afford.
You gotta
a
be
woman.
rich. I didn't say
No,
rich.
okay, you have to have X amount of money. You one of them Kevin Samuels, how value?
No, I said-
but I fuck for tacos, so work with me. What
Go ahead.
what I'm saying is that I'm not auditioning for a chick because she gonna fuck me forever. A girl will ask you, "Do you have a woman?" You be like, "Nah, I'm single as a dollar bill." She'll say, "You're lying." Still fuck you. She'll say, "All you want is pussy." I'm like, "Nah, pussy ain't all I want. That's all you got." First thing she give you, pussy. Look, so the sex part is not the issue. The issue is, can you follow instructions? Following instructions has no financial back into it. I have mentees.
You think a top-notch woman will listen to that and deal with that?
I believe Tyler's gonna title. I don't care if she a 2 or a 10. All women act like women. Y'all
If
put
that's
the
the case-
value on women. Y'all
that's
put the
the case-
value on women.
If that's the case, why Pete dating women with 9 kids then, and not one of the top
When
women?
I never dated a woman with 9 kids. Women I dated had 3 kids.
It don't even
And I
matter.
knew it, and I knew it. And let me clear this up, right? So, because I see what he's going with, you gotta lose weight, all this. I've always been a chubby motherfucker, and I pulled the baddest bitches. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, bro. Hold on.
Where are they at now?
The like all women, man. They come, they go, bro. I mean, come on, man. I still get, but since you're more worried about who I'm fucking, so let me just break it down to you.
Yeah,
about
break it down.
who said this wrong, right? So one of my worst errors in life, I was fucking homeless, right? I was sleeping in my car, then I went into an extended stay hotel. You know what I'm saying? And I went to the grocery store, walking because my car broke down, and I was living in a fucking dingy ass extended stay. And a shorty I bagged at the fucking grocery store. Next night she in my crib. Same night we banged. You know what I'm saying? She was 8.
Can you
And
do
I
that
was
now?
300 and some
Can you
pounds.
do that now?
I was 300 and some pounds. I was
Can you do
broke.
that now?
Look, man,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want this to be
We
ain't gonna make this-
always
we off track, man.
right.
We off track.
He
This
went.
ain't personal.
I'm gonna say this.
This ain't
More-
personal, man.
and right. Here's the
Let's
thing.
go. Let's go in the
Why are you
direction
worried
that
about? And here's the problem. Why are
Yeah.
you worried about what other men are being for women because you feel that's the status quo? I'm telling you, you're wrong because I'm telling you, as an experienced individual in the game of life and dealing with women, I've never had to be the richest motherfucker. I didn't even have to have my shit together. You know what I'm saying? I had a woman who still was willing to deal with me while I was sleeping in my car, bro. And I wasn't the best fucking fit, best shape, and they're beautiful women. You know what I'm saying? And this is not attack personally. His attacks are I'm stating that what he's saying is wrong, that it don't really matter. And this ain't just me. I've watched the shortest, fattest, brokest motherfucker be with some bad, tall, slender, fine ass woman.
I saw
And
that
so it
too. I
don't
was mad
really
as shit.
matter.
I was
From
mad
my
as fuck.
from my
for real.
experience of the guys who really getting girls, they don't gotta brag about it. They don't gotta talk about it. It's just what it is.
I don't unless you ask. I never really said.
I never asked you. You brought it up. I never asked you.
I'm gonna tell you why I was furious, right? Because everybody was like, "You people furious." It's because I really don't talk about my shit. I just do what I fucking do, and I don't like it because if it goes public, now I'm like, "Oh, Pete, I do my thing." Women I deal with know who they are. Men that are around me know the women I deal with. They know who they are. I don't really say it. I'm just saying it because it's like it's this. Oh, you're not valid unless you're, Boris Kojo or you're fucking Makai Pfeiffer or you're fucking Morris Chestnut. No, I'm saying or Michael Easley or whatever. You don't look like this. You don't do this. You can't get the best of the woman. You know what I'm saying? Most women go with felons anyway, no matter how bad that they are. We see it all the time. I done seen the most finest women deal with the most degenerate dudes. And it got nothing to do with his social status, his money, his look, his body build, none of that.
But you know what, man? I think a lot of times
we see it every day, but we want to discount it because we want to put women on this high pedestal as if all they pick is the great men. Well, if they pick all the great men, why do almost 60% of black women who have children are not married and have fucking baby daddies? That they were such fucking awesome fucking women and most beautiful. Why are they picking these motherfuckers? That ain't shit.
Are you
Look
getting
at most baby daddies. Same shit. They talk about niggas' baby mamas, but look at their baby daddy. Most of
What
them
about the other 40%?
They be like, he's dead, he don't do shit. You look at the
What about the other 40%? Are you pulling them?
Huh?
The other 40% with no kids, are you pulling them?
Does it matter?
I'm just asking.
No, I'm
So-
saying it doesn't matter.
I'm just asking. I
I
don't
know,
think
but
we
it
are.
doesn't matter. Where does it matter at? I'm
to
trying
that point, to that look, hey, to that point, I want to interrupt because I don't want this to be personal. This ain't what we're here for, right? I don't want this, bickering and shit. We don't have to do that, right? Let's stay on topic. And the topic was what it was, right? What are the options? So when whether we talking about Peter and his options, Oak and his options, or you, Kevin, and your options, me and Black, we out the game, right?
You're Black out the game.
We hung up our jersey a long time ago. So Kevin, I throw it to you.
Okay.
As far as what do you see as
I'm gonna say it like this right here. I think Black women are the best options for us Black American men, just based on statistics alone.
okay, great.
Over approximately 70% of interracial dating right now here in America, doesn't have anything to do with Black men. That's white and Hispanic, white and Asian, and white and multiracial. So 70% of interracial dating of today is, within those groups, not Black men. So if you get into the statistics, for white and Black, it's only 11 out of all the interracial dating in America, only 11% is dealing with white and Black. And 7% of that is with Black men, and 4% of that with Black women. So if you look at Asians, I know Pete talking about Asians, Asian women there's the percentage is so small that the Asians talk to Black men that they're not even on the list that they're dating black men here in America. So what I'm saying to the panel, that it sounds good, but statistics shows that the top 70% of interracial dating doesn't even include Black people, Black men in general.
I agree with that.
Then on top of that, if you get to Asians, the top 6 is white. The top one is white and Hispanic. So interracial dating in America, approximately 42% of interracial dating in America is between white and Hispanics. Number 2 is white and Asian. Then white and multiracial. Then number 4 is white and Black, 11%. And you go down and down, there's nothing with Black and Asians in there. It's so small that it's not even a percentage point. So what I'm saying that, even with that, where are we getting? We getting the bottom barrels. I'm just saying the ones who do talk, because whites are the most
Spanish, and then I could come off as Hispanic.
right. The least likely to date outside the race are whites, but they're controlling the top.
Wait, whoa. The least likely to date interracially is whites. Yeah,
Whites,
7% of interracial dating. Okay,
Right.
so we're not going. I'm not going to try to use simple math.
Right. So
Okay.
let me say this. Let me finish my point out.
Go ahead.
So you asked 70%. So if we look at 0.05%, 5% of white people, and you apply it across the board, say 300 million people in America, 65% are white. You take 90 million out, people who's old,
To
who's
say
children.
that, okay, let me help you out. Let me help you out.
So let me finish this right here. So I'm just explaining that point, but I'm saying, to the panel that Black American women, just based on statistics, Black women got our back. They're dating us.
Yeah, they don't have our back. They just don't have a choice. Look,
Right.
as a man, no.
Let me finish this.
As a tribe,
They have our back.
as a
I'm almost done. Let me finish this.
as
Let
a
me
tribe,
finish
we
this.
all want to sleep with people who look
Right.
like us.
Let me
So
finish this here.
that's not a big.
Well, let me finish this right here. This is my last point. The women that even statistics that I see on statistics and I see in real life, on average, the type of women who date outside their race are the bottom barrels. They be 200, 400 pounds. They get a tooth missing. They get alopecia in the hair or something like that.
Where's the stats coming from?
Well, how?
No,
No.
that's my
Wait,
personal.
no.
Oh,
Your
that's
person.
yeah, right.
Wait,
That's
no.
the facts.
So
Okay, wait, stop.
what
No.
I'm saying to you.
No, I
your
just want
person-
to
Whoa. Look, check this out. Most men want to date women that look like them. Okay, I give you that. Even if they're not the same nationality. Because because what y'all call white is only white when you compare it to blacks. So if we're talking nationality, there's a lot of French white dudes who's marrying Irish white women. So you're just lumping all white in, but you're not taking nationality. So if we're only talking about nationality, okay, cool. If we're talking about color, regardless, you're still looking at most black men marry black women, right?
Yeah.
Because men have a black fetish, and that's fine. That's absolutely cool.
That's your interpretation. That's not the fact. That's
No,
your
that is. So you're saying you say that you prefer black women.
right. So most white men prefer white women. Most
okay,
Asian men
exactly,
prefer
exactly.
Asian women.
Hey, no.
Just the
White, no. Check this out. Here's it. No. So if that is the case, because men like vagina, men prefer, have a preference, a fetish, but I don't fuck white girls, Mexican. I don't fuck everything except Pakistani girls with that down on their forehead.
It's about
Women,
access. As much as
women will sleep with who sleeps with them if you buy them tacos or whatever your dating preference of choice is. That's not the issue. The issue is not who you have access to. There is a preconceived notion with Asians, for instance, that white is better. There's a preconceived notion with black women. I have a cousin. I have two cousins that's married to white men.
That's the social.
And in both situations, I saw the type of black men they dated, and then they wouldn't date the same type of black men of the white men they dated.
And so a black man also same thing.
Yeah,
So-
Black man, the type
so-
of black woman, type of white woman a black man would date is it's not the type of black woman they would date. I see it all
No,
the
that's
time.
not. But no, because now you're comparing apples and oranges.
So, same thing.
No. I'm gonna give no.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying this on both sides. Though.
Because you're saying by the eye test, when a black man dates a non-black woman,
They'd be fucked up looking.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm not even gonna disagree with that. But those same dudes fuck fat black bitches. Like they have no discernment. Period. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of low bottom barrel bitch they get. You know what I'm saying? They just end up going to Iowa.
I see it both ways. Oh, I see
Black
handsome.
people put it with the
I
drops.
see handsome guys that like my homeboy. He played basketball, pretty boy. Get any girl he want. A lot of the basketball players they like white girls. The black girls he had these high standards. This is just one of many. He had these high standards of the white girls. I'm like, man, he talks to that white girl. She looked busted looking. So it's just not guys.
you can't pretend like the social standard ain't what it is.
No,
social standard is whiteness. White is better.
It's not even. No, great marketing.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But what I'm saying is, you fuck what you attract and what you're attracted to. I don't care how many fat girls attracted to me, what color they are. I have a fat phobia. I don't like the fat people smell. It smell like old people smell like mothballs. Fat people got a distinct fat people smell. I don't want you to open your legs like, goddamn, Fat Albert. I don't go through that. So when I fuck skinny, I'll fuck a skinny white girl just like I'll fuck a skinny black girl. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? With me, she ain't even. I'll fuck an ugly girl with a nice body, but I won't fuck a pretty girl with a fat body because I have a fat phobia. But if a person doesn't have that type of discernment, then they'll fuck whatever, and that's fine. And I understand why guys go to Iowa, Northwest Indiana, Minnesota, South Dakota, and bop a chubby white bitch. I understand why, because they've never seen that type of cooperation with a vagina in their life. But
that's why I titled it marriage instead of sex. Because with the sex,
he'll talk about a ball player that fucked a fat white broad. But look at Kobe Bryant, like fine as hell.
Well, this is celebrities. There's always exceptions to the rule. We're not talking about entertainers and celebrities.
But you just said a basketball player.
There's exceptions to the rule.
I compared to apple to apple. You said your friend is a basketball player.
No, I'm talking about.
And you said
all that level.
We know it's different with celebrities. Come on.
Right. So celebrities.
You don't even see celebrities with ugly women. Not.
Okay. But here's the thing with that. If we're talking interracial dating, the race is different than interracial.
Marriage is the conversation.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you talk interracial dating, the numbers are different than interracial marriage.
Yeah.
So a lot of black guys can date whatever, but they marry within their own race.
And largely because it's not optional.
For
the most part, marriage is not optional
outside
of black women unless.
I'm not saying it's not optional.
And again,
I think it's first of all, I think a lot of it. There are some facts, right, in the data in a sense of what trended over a period of time, right. But we understand now, culture is changing to a high degree where color almost is not going to be obsolete in a few years.
Maybe
right?
in a few years.
In a few years, and if I'm still alive and dating, my sons, your daughters are all going to be in that culture. Your grandchildren, you got grandchildren. So it's going to affect their future. So ultimately, you got grandsons, they'll be there in the future. Here's the thing.
Wait. I'm going to make it even in that. when I look at, if we're just talking color, not culture, not nationality, if I look at American blacks, then I'll go with what you're saying. If I look at just black as a color, but we're talking Nigerian, Kenyan, then all of a sudden the demographics change because all they fuck with is white girls. And they're culturally accepted based on their social status, based on them being what they are. So there's a difference between a Kenyan black and an American black to the eyes of the average American. To the average American. There's a difference between Abu at 7-Eleven that's darker than me, but his hair looks permed. If I perm my hair, I'll be Abu, and then people will see me differently based on what they perceive my culture to be. Black is for women, gays, and felons, and it's a bottom barrel culture. It has nothing to do with the color. It's a bottom barrel culture full of women like the women in the chat that's saying, "Oh, you got life fucked up because you love you and you want a motherfucker to love you as much as you love you, instead of hating yourself like I hate me and sharing the hate with me and both being depressed and bottom barrel motherfuckers." That is the difference. The difference is the perception of excellence. Like, I can love me, I can be the greatest me, and people see that excellence in them because they say, even when the Africans come to America, they say, "How you been here this whole time with all these opportunities, and all you do is complain and act like a toddler?" It's
ignoring the
cultural
fact
thing.
that they got cultural help from outside of this country, whereas here inside this country we get opposition.
Our opposition is toddlers. Everybody talk about this fucking white supremacy, but the only white people they see are the teachers that indoctrinate you and the police that enforce the doctrine.
So hold on,
You
you're
have
saying
every
racism don't exist? That's your stance?
No,
Racism
I'm not
don't
saying. No, I'm not saying that.
Not
What-
at the level.
No,
Not
not
at the
you,
level.
Pete, because
No.
not you, Pete.
Well, I'm
No,
saying,
not
I'm
you.
saying this,
Not you, Pete, because I know you don't believe in racism at all.
After the
hold on,
70s.
bro. Hold on, bro. I'm talking to Oak. That question was for Oak because I already know where you stand. Racism ain't real. It's the boogeyman. It's a figment of
No.
my imagination. I get that.
I'm
This
not
question is for Oak. You're
I'm not
telling
saying-
me that
Okay.
racism isn't the reason, or a primary reason, or a major reason that black folk haven't made the progress that immigrant blacks made. Is that what you're telling me?
I am telling you that, but I will say that that same racism is why American blacks tend to date American black women, because that is a trauma bond. That's not a real fucking bond. They don't have my back. They just think, man, shit, that's all we got, B. The truth of the matter is that we don't have the barriers that we create for ourselves based on being prisoners of our own inequity. The opportunities are there. The social structures are there. When I go to those meetings, they actually have specific programs, the same type of programs that the government has for people who move in here. I listen to black people talk about all the time, like the Arabs come in here and they get $50,000 bonus and they ain't got to pay taxes for 5 years. And then I say, man, do you know what an opportunity zone is? Oh, I don't know what that is. But in Chicago, they call them hub zones. I don't know what that is. I say, man, it's the same shit. It's motherfuckers that allocate money for indentured neighborhoods and
Why you
make
gotta
you
find
tax
out
free.
from you though?
No, because the fact that, here's the thing. If you read a fucking book, then you'll
You
know
understand what I'm
shit.
getting at,
but
right?
but reading books is anti-black. Now you're acting white because you can read past the 6th grade level. So
Pete, white
Yeah.
folk don't read no more than we do. White
Okay.
folk don't read more. Look, statistically now, you can look this
Statistically.
up. Look, statistically, white folk don't read no more than black folk in America do. White folk don't save money or spend money very differently from black folk in America. It's not about that, right? And this is statistic. The brother
No, I
at
agree.
University. Okay, so I don't even have to break that down.
no, I agree. I agree with that.
Okay,
Here's-
so let's
here's
stop
the-
saying. Let's stop with the
No, no,
black
no.
folk don't read shit.
I
That's bullshit.
no. I agree with that. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Why everybody else's leaders are warriors, politicians, and business owners, black people follow activists because they love actors, because they minstrels. So when you're in a black community, the people who lead the black community, niggas want a king, so they always talk to the president. The president ain't got shit to do with your neighborhood. Your neighborhood is run by your alderman and your state rep. So if every fucking black community in the nation has an Arab gas station, an Arab liquor store, and a Chinese cleaners, and you all have to get permits from an alderman who's supposed to be from your community, and they're letting people from outside your community get all the money while they telling you, maybe next time, nigger, then that means that you put in an activist and they acted like they fucked with you, but they kept you impoverished. But that is not a racist issue. That is a self-hate issue.
But the other groups are not having to contend with that same level of opposition from within. That's what I'm saying.
Because everybody else puts in position competent people. Niggas think they competent people are acting white, so they competent people have to move out that community to keep that community even more impoverished, because now you lost your craftsmen, your businessmen, and everything else. Everybody who get money say they quote unquote leaving the hood. People don't leave Chinatown, Greektown, Little Italy. People leave the ghetto. And it's only the ghetto because it's all black people. It's only you don't even police your own communities, and it only costs $26 per house per week, and you only police your own communities. But if I say, yo, check this out, man, this is on guys. Yo, guys, look, we can do all the shit that everybody else do somewhere else. I ain't rebuilding shit. I ain't saving shit. I ain't doing none of that shit. Y'all come holler at me. We'll just build our own shit over here, and we'll have our own rules and doctrines that work for us. Because men are the only functional human beings. Women have cravings for chaos. Everything in their fucking life is chaos. All their TV shows are chaos. All their relationships are chaos. I've never seen people that go to work 8 hours a day that come home with stories about work. I go to work, I come home, I watch TV. I ain't got no work stories.
That is not been my experience, brother.
Shit.
So, who's the best option then, Oak? If you was getting somebody,
whoever I train. I don't
black
care about
now.
the color. Whoever I train. Y'all let me train y'all toddlers for you. Whoever I train is your best option. It's not about color.
Good.
It's about culture. So
I agree with you there. It is about culture.
Until men create the culture, and the culture comes politically and economically, because what you do for a living creates your culture. The Pullman district in Chicago was all train riders. There's a district in Chicago that's nothing but for firemen, police officers. So you know what type of assistance you're going to get in that neighborhood. They redlined black people, so they mixed up a lot of people. I understand that. But now the red line is over. You create your own culture based on your whatever crafts that you want to put in, like any other housing agency, and there's a culture to the housing agency. If I let black women get free houses, my community gonna be fucked up and there's no grass. But if I have a community in which I say we have a housing association, and not only you better have grass, but your grass can't be more than 1.5 inches high, then every motherfucking yard in that community is gonna be well manicured. And if you do that, because all men do that, because women don't do that, because they ain't did it in the hood. That's why niggas leaving the hood. So when men do that, then women will come and like, oh my God, they got grass, they got clean crib, man. It's a good education system run by men, because women don't know shit. They just do shit and put the boys on Ritalin and advance the girls who can't read. Man, these motherfuckers actually know shit. I want to suck a dick over here so I can get in one of these houses. That's all you got to do. Women are the most important part of any relationship.
Oh, what's the difference between a wife and a slave?
If she loves her job.
I tell you what, you can't in today's world, you can't even maintain a slave if she don't love her job.
If she love her job, that's it.
Well, I think I don't know. I think just based on those statistics, you know, that Kevin was reading earlier, for the most part, and I want to get back to that point where you said 70% of all of the interracial dating is white and Hispanics. That wasn't
well the 70% is white and Hispanic, white and Asian, and white and multicultural. 42% makes up white and Hispanic.
Now that doesn't mean that 70% of white people are dating interracially. That means of all of the interracial dating that's taking place, 70% of it is with white people.
Right.
Or
what percentage is black people?
11%.
Okay.
And that's, look, check this out now. Again, there is a social hierarchy. We can't pretend that this don't exist, right? And white is at the top, and everything is in between, and then black is on the bottom. So-called black, so-called white. White people ain't white like a sheet of paper. That's a social status, just like black is a social status. They bought into that same thing, just like black people bought into that same thing. We can agree on that. So then this dating and this marrying hierarchy that's taking place is reflective of that social status. You have other groups, all the other groups looking to marry white or looking to go up to the top of that hierarchy where white people are, and fewer are looking to marry quote unquote down where black people are. This is why black folk are least likely to marry out. This is why other people are least likely or less likely to marry black folk. So when you talk about what the marrying options are for black men, your highest option, the highest option that we have for success, it doesn't mean that you can't marry out. The chances are there, but when you talk about Asians, your percentage is somewhere around 1% or less. When you talk about black people marrying Hispanic, your options are about 4% or less. When you talk about marrying white, your options are somewhere around 10% or less, or right around 10% or so. So then the overwhelming majority of us, which is who we talking to, all this high value shit, that whatever, the overwhelming majority of us are going to marry black, and that is going to be the best opportunity that we have for harmony, because again, the social structure exists for a reason, and those people are looking down on you. 9 times out of 10, if a non-black woman marries a black man, she has to justify that to her family, because there is that. Maybe in a few years, like you said, Pete, and that sweet by and by, maybe we won't have to do that. But right now, today, she got to justify that. Try getting an Indian chick to take you home as a black man to her family. She gonna have to justify that.
I'm trying to tell you, I haven't done it, but
Make sure you click that subscribe button.
Taking home to the family, yes, banging out.
Filipino chick, a Mexican chick, even a white chick. That white people are more comfortable now because they've been around us longer. But in general, I'm not talking about exceptions. Generally speaking, these women have to justify why they're passing up their own men, or or passing up white opportunities. Why are they bringing you home? You better have something going on for yourself so that she's accompanied with a good story as to why she chose you. That's what we're looking at.
Then Iowa must be lying, because all I see is beige babies. But
I ain't talking about sex. I'm talking about marriage.
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
We can own anything.
Married, but here's the thing, right? Can I speak on this part? Because about the stats, right, and where they come from, you know what I'm saying? Where I think it's a little bit disingenuous. It is statistically recorded. One is as marriage, right? We have to take into account that not necessarily that the white men are being chosen. A lot of the times, the white men, because I also got to know where it has to be men versus women, right? Because you're just saying categorically all together, and it's grouping in men and women, right? Who is the interracial, right? Because if anybody's looking at the top of the line, it's going to be white men. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see even why would a white woman go Asian, go Hispanic, or even go black if her man is the top. So chances are that 70% are white men who've abandoned white women, and generally they go across seas and they actually get those brides. And I'm telling you this from an experience that I had. This when I was selling windows, and I met this.
The 70% is white men and white women combined.
Yeah.
Right, which is a very hard determining factor, because you don't know who the majority is.
It's about 20% on each of them.
Right. So for white and Hispanic, it's 42%.
Male for white males.
Right. I can say that. So
Okay.
So for white and Hispanic, it's 42%, and for a white male marrying a Hispanic, is 22%. For a white woman marrying a Hispanic man, is 20%. So if you go to white and Asian,
20%. So 20%.
Yeah, for the woman, white woman, 22% for the white man.
These are only focused on interracial relationships.
Right. So for white people and Asians.
Can we break it up into white women and white men, and just so I can get the stats on that? I'm trying to get the stats on that.
Which part? What group?
So like a white woman, when she dates interracially, how many?
Well, it depends what group. So are you talking about Hispanic, Asian?
No, a white woman dating interracially.
I got to add it up, but
we'll give each group. White women with each group.
Right, because we said 4% of black women. But here's the thing: it doesn't matter, because who cares? What I'm saying, I know the point that Pete's trying to make.
That's the topic of the show, bro.
No, Pete's trying to make the point that white women, their men are already top of the food chain. I can make just the same point that based on dating data, that black men are the third most chosen and Asian men are the last, while black women are the last chosen and Asian women are the second. But it doesn't matter, because you marry your fetish. You marry what you like, right? You marry what you like. Well, that's unfortunate. No. Niggas need to get a club and hit her over the head and drag her to the cage.
Well, I mean, to some degree you do, but statistically though, you're marrying what's available to you.
No, and why do you, what happened? 52% of this nation is female. 52%. Okay. Why do black men talk about like it's scarcity of pussy? Black men especially have more women than men. There's absolutely no scarcity of pussy. So why do y'all guys talk like, man, you can only get what's available when every fucking thing's
I'm not
available?
talking about sex, bro. You
No,
haven't
no, no,
started
no,
the
no,
conversation.
no. I'm not. No. We're talking about sex because I've never looked at a girl and was like, God damn, her credit look good. I could tell by looking at her. She's a great mother. No, nigga, I'd be like, oh, she got childbearing hips. Everything after that is based on her quality.
Okay.
If she has no quality, then she gets the sex. If she has quality, she gets a key. But that's on her. My initial thing is I approached her based on physical attraction.
Yes.
And then it's up to her, it's up to me to prove my merit to get some pussy. And then it's up to her to prove her merit to get a relationship. She has a role in this shit. You can say that if I say 9% of black
That's a little
women,
incomplete, bro, but I hear you.
nah, it's not. If I could say 9% of black women are married, you can't blame that on black men because I can say 80% of black women brag about the two proposals they got in their 20s. So they all 80% of them could have been married.
I blame it on our culture. We don't have our priority set on building.
I absolutely. Black cultures for women, gays, and felons. So you can say that shit, but you can't put men in there and say that men dictate what's going on if your culture caters to women, gays, and felons. Somebody
Why
in
is
the
our
chat.
culture catered? That's a whole different.
Because a bunch of niggas said they want their daughter to have a college plan, so you don't need no man. Because
I mean,
he was a whole.
Look, word on the street is we've been getting sold out since W.E.B. Du Bois. So
Man,
you
we've been getting sold out since we've been getting sold out since Pocahontas. They never been our women.
Okay,
But
so
here's
this
the
ain't you can't just fast forward to
but
Biggie. And be like, oh,
no,
man,
I'm not. But what I'm saying is we're talking about today's cultural norms. Because even before then, there was a 98. Even he did, but even before that, even during the W.B. Du Bois time, it was a 90% marriage rate. Whether it was for convenience, whether it's so you got housing, whatever, men dictated the rules of his house. Even if he was a horrible leader, men dictated the rules of his house. He got to raise his kids, good or bad. Now you have to cater to a chick just to see your kid in the morning, or she'll take your baby, go across state lines, you'll never see it again.
You gotta choose the right woman to impregnate.
No, nigga, I ain't gotta choose shit. When I bust my nut, it's a gift. I don't care if it's on a napkin, on a back, in a pussy. When I give it to you, it's a gift. No, I don't give a shit.
That's great in theory, but
no, it's great.
Playing out that way.
Yeah, it's playing out for me. Because when I fuck,
first of all, you don't know. I'm gonna say this. First of all, this whole thing, you got to choose the right woman. Every woman you ask, there's not one woman that says, "Oh, I'm a bad mother."
I'm a bad woman. Every woman a good woman. That's why every man.
Right, so if I go to the Ford dealership to get that new F-150, I might say I'm gonna pay it on time, but they're gonna check my credit, right?
But here's the thing.
But how do you check a woman's credit though? Huh? If she's gonna be, how do you check a woman's credit?
Man, look at her references. Look at her social circle. Look at what she does. Does she honor what she like?
So I'm gonna use myself as an example, right? And because I don't, this is what it is. Me and you talked about this long, and I've seen it with many men that I know that gone through hell with women and their kids. They looked at all of that. Good families, you know what I'm saying? Decent
relationships. Rolling the dice, man. Ain't no guarantee.
No, ain't no roll. Like, there you go. So you rolling the dice, right? So there it is.
There are odds.
Right, right. So there's no way to definitively know until you get a woman pregnant and then you have a baby. And we all know the same. No fury, whatever.
There's no wrath like a woman scorn.
There's no hell like a woman scorn, right? So once a woman breaks up with a man, she feels scorned. Her ideal of how she deals with children are the same, and that's where it turns out. Her credentials can be good. She have a good job. She come from a good family. She can be educated. She can be non-ratchet. She can go to bed at 9 o'clock at night. She could not fuck with 1,000 niggas. But the moment she feels in a way, right? Everybody.
But you're playing the odds, though, right?
You're playing the odds, right? You playing the odds. All of us are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's what it's about, though. Ain't no guarantees.
No, it's not about playing the odds. It's not about playing the odds.
Ain't no guarantees, bro. Ain't no
guarantees. Wait.
Let me just finish. Wait. 1 minute you said men got to choose better and choose better baby mamas.
So you choose better odds, bro. Like if you're going,
but I just
all bet on the Super Bowl, right?
I'm gonna say this. I personally bet
on football.
I'm gonna say this. My son's mother had a college education when I met her. She went to bed at 9 o'clock. She wasn't in the club. She had a close relationship with her family. Was one of the reasons why I dealt with her. You know what I'm saying? She talked about aspirational stuff. She told me that she didn't believe in child support and all that shit because she worked for DFAX and she understood how fucked up it was. But as soon as we had a baby and she wanted to kick me out, you know what I'm saying? All shit changed. And I used to ask her, and she's like, well, da-da-da-da-da. It changes. All my boys that I know that go through shit are good dudes that pick decent mothers to be their children. They were highly educated. They were married. And as soon as it broke up, they were trying to throw the man in jail. And it had nothing to do with that. He was lackluster as a father. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So this is what I'm trying to tell you that. Let me finish this. Oh, just please let me
Go
finish.
ahead.
All right. The reason why I'm saying this whole concept that men are just having bad experience with these women is because he didn't choose right. Mind you, 72% of black fathers are married, so at least they're trying to do the right thing. So that means they're making conscious decisions. 18% at least cohabitate. So maybe they didn't go all the way to marriage, but they're trying to be there for the children and the household. That means 88% of black men who become fathers, right, are trying their best to do the right thing. There's nowhere near, just like Kevin said, oh, she made a mistake because maybe she dealt with the wrong guy when she was in her 20s. Well, if these men are dealing with the wrong woman in their 20s, why they're not getting the same pass as the same woman that Kevin mentioned that made mistakes?
I think
You get what I'm saying? His level of discernment is based on what she presented to him.
On women, gays, and
So they
felons.
have to-
Hold
I
on,
think you
wait,
made a-
wait.
I think
Look,
you made a
in
bit
the
of a
comments.
stretch. You said that
No, it's
all these
not.
men
But
that are married are
Hold on.
I want to sound.
This
I wanna
comment
sound-
said, this comment said, okay.
Ain't nobody think about what Liz talking about because Liz will take these tacos. Liz will take these tacos too.
No, I want to answer. There we
Liz
go.
take these tacos too. But here's the thing. Aya, what's her name? Aya had a good comment. I saw it. I ignored it, but I'm gonna address it by addressing what they're talking about right now.
Look at that comment at the bottom, Black.
Here's the thing. People, whoever you are, you're only good up to your level of penalty. That's it. You're only good up to your level of penalty.
Explain that.
Easy. If there's no penalty for her to be an hour late, she knows the show starts at 8. I get there at 7:30. She ain't ready to 8:30. We don't get there to 9, and now we missed the show. We got to watch something else. There's no penalty to her. She's like, I just get it. However, if she's 3 minutes late for her employer, she gets written up, and 3 write-ups, she's out of a job. So she gets there on time, 5 minutes early, because there's a penalty. People are only as good as the level of penalty for what they do. And black women have no penalty in the black community because the black community is run by women, men who want to be women, and felons who depend on women for a place to stay when they get out the joint. Women, gays, and felons. So, because you're only good up to your level of penalty, and black men don't create penalties because black men don't create structures because black men want love. And black men say, there was another comment that said, man, that Section 8 women, because a woman's on Section 8 doesn't necessarily mean she's bad.
Something wrong with wanting love?
No, I don't give a fuck about her love. Nigga, I create the love. She reflects, projects, or weaponizes my love, nigga. I got the love. Ain't nothing wrong with love because I got all the love. What I am saying
so
is...
nothing wrong with love is what you're saying.
No. What, ain't nothing wrong with love. But that man, you got to buy this love, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you selling me pussy, I'm selling you arguments. Look, what I am saying is... what I am saying is, there was a comment in there that said Section 8 women, like something about getting a man, Section 8 women, does that mean they bad people? It doesn't mean they bad people. It just means they're more expensive. Let me explain something to you. If the average income of an American is anywhere between 45 to 80,000, once she's on Section 8, she gets $105,000 worth of benefits out the gate. So you got a bum bitch talking about a nigga need to make $100,000 to be with her and be legitimately correct in order to subsidize the lifestyle she already has for being nothing but a breeder for the state. She could be a breeder for me. That's what I'm saying. It's easier for me to find a breeder than it is to find a wife, because the way that y'all trying to find a wife is to find somebody that loves you so much that they'll be like, yo, I don't mind being your boss for the rest of your life. That's not a leadership position. Right?
I just want to say this. I know you know sometimes you reference women, women as toddlers and things of that nature. I just want to say this. If they're toddlers, right? Should they be easily to manipulate?
It depends on how your child is raised. So this is why I call them toddlers. No, but this is facts. There are women who I talk to that be like, yo, she's like, I'm a toddler. Can I get a t-shirt? I'll be your toddler. Because they understand the concept of what a toddler is. A toddler is a person that gets to do whatever they want to up to their level of penalty, because you're not going to let your kid touch the stove. You're going to make them come in at a certain time. They got a certain bedtime. They got to do their homework. So they know that they can't play their video game until after their homework is done. So people, they capitulate up to their level of penalty. You provide shelter, you provide food, you teach them how to cook, you know what I'm saying, whether it's hot dogs or toast or whatever, so they can be self-sufficient when you're not there.
Hot dogs and
You know what I'm
toast.
saying? You
Yeah.
provide them with transportation because you provide them with their entertainment, right? You take them to they little league games, you take them to the movies, you take them to the zoo because toddlers can't entertain themselves. You got to be their entertainment, right? So even if the woman is single, men could be single and do nothing. We could sit on the porch for 14 hours and talk about the good old days. Women have to chase a dick. They ladies' night is about dick.
Right.
They going to the club. They going
Dudes
to
be lonely
get
as
food
hell.
out.
Dudes be
I ain't gonna be
feeling
lonely as
that.
hell. I'm straight. So,
There's a
but
lot
I'm,
of brothers out here committing suicide. There's a lot of brothers going through depression.
because they love
We sleeping on.
because
Listen,
they
we
love these
sleeping on.
toddlers more than they love themselves, nigga. I love
Look, man, we
when
sleeping
I
on the fact that men need companionship too.
okay. Let me ask you a question. Here's a question.
Now we can play hard all we
No,
want to,
we're not playing. I'm not playing hard. I'm not even the hardest dude
and
on my
maybe you
block.
don't. You might be an exception
No,
to the rule.
no,
but
I'm
the
not even the
average
hardest dude on my
brother-
block. The thing is, a woman with clothes on isn't better than a man with clothes on. You want to get her clothes off so you can appreciate who she really is. I have conversations with my guys. We laugh. We do all type of shit. If we got clothes on, I could chill with the guys and grill and crack jokes, and then all the guys be like, and me too, be like, I am from going to the crib and fuck with my
You don't
girl.
want to lay down with them though.
We don't want to lay down with them. So once
Right.
again, with clothes on,
You need something
anybody
soft.
can be companionship. Something soft, that's just sex. And I can never not get sex.
Man,
So
I'm gonna tell you, bro. I know you've been through a lot of women, like you said. However many the number is.
and I'm
you
in a
said-
relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And-
so the
and-
point is then that is more to it than just sex that we're looking for from women.
Sex is all I want, and sex is all they have. What I am telling you is sex is all they have, but they act like they offer more. They offer more to their employer. They offer more to girl power. They offer more to. But when they suck a dick, they forget how to count. Bitch, you wasn't counting for a living. You got a
Choosing the
certified
wrong
CPA.
women, bro.
No, it ain't the wrong women. No, it's not the wrong women. It is.
I know brothers who have women in their lives who were willing to go to counseling for them because they wanted that man so much that they were willing to do whatever they could to
Was that the
upgrade
first-
their own selves so that
I
they could
agree.
be
I
better.
agree with that. I agree with that. Was that the first
So-
woman they ever slept with? Did that woman take his virginity, or did he have to kiss some frogs?
Hey, let me say this, Oak. You know, there's some.
Hey, some women put shit in their name.
Hold on. I mean, there's some messed up women out there, but if a woman really, if a woman really has interest in you and she really feeling you and digging you, you know, from my experience, they're willing to do whatever it takes, you know, to trying to keep you, trying to prove to you, and things of that nature. If they're not too interested in you, and they really don't see value in you, a lot of times they're not gonna try too hard. But they really digging you, feeling you.
Okay, wait. Time out. Let's take that in two parts because I agree with both parts. But let's split it in half. I agree with both parts though, right?
Yeah.
So let's take the second part first. If she doesn't see anything in me, but I'm still fucking, since that was to say about her discernment, while you're talking about men need to find better women, if she don't see nothing in a man, but she's still busting it wide open. But the
Just made
first
it
part,
so she wants you to scratch it. That's all.
okay. So the
You know
first
more than
part,
that.
so the first part, if a woman sees something in you, she's willing to go that extra mile, which goes for anybody. If you see something in anybody, there's for every kid that's homeless, there's that one kid that somebody sees something in, and they capitulate and they help that kid. Matter of fact, that's the best way to describe it. Everybody loves. They have a son, right? You have a newborn son. You look at your son, got all his fingers in their toes. The baby laughs. You're like, yo, it's a happy baby. I want my child to be smart and healthy and socially acclimated. You know, my kids, my friends' kids are going to be their friends because, you know, your parents assign your first friends for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to put them in the best schools, give them the best education, all that good shit, because that's your seed, right? Now, as a man, I understand that you're not going to see what I'm about to say next. But you got to understand that as a woman, she wants all that for her baby. Because women don't really like children. They like babies. But they don't really like children. So I've seen women beating the fuck out their 12-year-old and see somebody else pushing a baby carriage like, oh my God, I got baby fever. It's a perpetual baby doll lifestyle. But anyway, Tyler's going to title. Tyler's deserve baby dolls. But anyway, one day these kids are their babies. 10 years old, 11 years old. Still called baby. That's my baby. Baby tall as shit. That's my baby. Once that boy enters puberty, he becomes one of them niggas. Now all of a sudden, you're looking at your child not as the person that you want to be happy, healthy, and wise. You're looking at that child as what could capitulate the ideas of a 16-year-old girl who acts like a 4-year-old, right? So, and this is what I mean by that. So, when other cultures, because we're talking culture, I'm not even talking color right now. When other cultures see potential outside of menstrual culture, they'll cuff you. They see something in you, right? When black people see something in you, they see some type of artistic form. You can sing well. You can shoot 1,500 free throws in a row. And they say, I'm going to cuff you because you're going to be a great minstrel. Because it's a minstrel class. But they don't cuff the boy that makes phone apps in the basement, right? That's what other people come in and say, you know what? He found a way to make salt water drinking water. And they look for other people to capitulate that growth, right? I was told that Boston was the most racist city in the world. But when I went to Boston, they said, man, they might as well say you're one of the good niggas. They said, man, you're very articulate and intelligent. You ain't got to go back to Chicago. Man, do you want to work for Polaroid or Kodak, whichever one is in Eastman, Massachusetts? And man, I'll help you. I'll front you the money to get an apartment. I'll take it out your check till you pay me back because there's something in you I think that you can grow. That's that go from the mail room to the boardroom attitude that everybody else sees when they want a functional man. Black people don't want a functional man. They want a minstrel that will follow what the fuck a toddler telling them to do. So that's why y'all talking about wage gaps and catering to women and making her feel and she'll leave you if she gets upset and all that shit. It don't make fucking matter. That's not how life works. Life works, man. Are you the most capable person for the job? I have a position. Can you fill the position? And as long as you're in this position, I love you because I love the position. Once you decide that you don't want to be in that position, divorce happen every day, B. Once you decide you don't want to be in that position, then I need to find somebody else to love this position as much as I love this position. Y'all overrate these toddlers, but they need you. You need sex. But if you don't fuck these girls, your life will be just as easy. Why are gays richer than than men? Because gays just don't date women. So they don't blow all their bread on some fucking toddler trying to entertain somebody else. Because men don't even want to be entertained.
There's some gays out here struggling like crazy, bro.
Especially the black ones because they were into sexuality before they got a job. But, you know, toddlers gonna toddle. Any man who overcompensates to be a woman gonna be broke because girls don't have no fucking... I ain't gonna say that. There's some women that got bread. There's some women that got bread. But most women, they don't have no budget. They don't have no restrictions because nothing happens to them. They can buy what they want and beg for what they need and somebody else to help them. Men only can do it to their level of penalty. So if we don't work, we don't eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I don't make it, I'm back in my parents' house. If she don't make it, she get housing. That's paid for by taxpayers. So not every man taking care of her because she can't listen to one man.
You do know that there's a, would you say, Pete, like 40%, 46% of black women don't have children. So they don't qualify for housing. So they're either going to be homeless or they're going to live in a halfway house or shelter, or they got to move back home with mom too. So, you know, we try to represent as if, you know, there's this narrative. Never mind. I don't even want to go into that.
Well,
we got 90 minutes in. So
my narrative
let's start winding down.
Hey fellas, let's start wrapping this up, y'all.
Yeah, let's wrap.
Okay. I'm just saying my point is this, right? When we're talking about here's the thing. When we talk about having children, I'm not talking about all black women, right? Because there's a percentage of black women that don't have children, where there's a percentage of black men that don't have children. Women have more children than black men do, but that's universal. The numbers are damn near identical worldwide. You know what I'm saying? 60% of women tend to have children, where 50% of men or something like that, or less than 50%. And that's across the board. So I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when certain groups of people have children, this is what they do, right? So when we compare about motherhood and fatherhood, when it comes to the black, whatever it is, the black fathers, 72% are married, right? When they have children. That means they take having children very seriously. 16% cohabitate. They take it just as seriously. It's just they are not married, and sometimes for different reasons. 12% of black fathers are solo. and only 5% of that 12% really is deadbeats. The others are active fathers. You know what I'm saying? So even though they're not in the home, they still take fatherhood very seriously. So it's really a failure rate of 5% of black fathers, basically, right? When it comes to black mothers, only 37% are married, only 8% are cohabitating, and 56% are not. And they are solo. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you look at the statistics compared to black men may be on the lower of all the races, but they're not far away. It's only a few percentage. You know what I'm saying? So, whereas Hispanic men, you know, they're only a few percentage away. When it comes to black women, they're so far, even from the closest person. You know what I'm saying? So it shows their concept of parenthood. They also have the lowest rate of marriage, which means they're not the ones thinking of family and future and legacy. Irregardless, and you can't really say it's what happened to us because it happened to both men and women. You know what I'm saying? And because there's no way to say, oh, black women had it worse during slavery or black men had it worse. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have, we could argue each way. Oh, black women were raped. Well, black men were raped too. And what's worse, a black man getting raped, a black woman getting raped, right? So my point is, here we are, and we're so far removed, right? We're about, 7 decades away from not even slavery, but from equal rights type shit. You know what I'm saying? Civil rights, right? So, and generally, the status and the abilities and racism has decreased for the black race since then. My point is when we're starting to say, hey, oh, pick the right one, pick the right one. You know what I'm saying? You can't say black men are not trying to do that. It is the black women that are not picking the right dads because they generally have children by the same small percentage of bad men. You know what I'm saying? And when we talk about marriage and you're saying black women are better options, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to really say that because their foundation of what marriage is, like black women, for the most part, want to be married, but they don't want to be wives. They don't want the duty that comes with it. They just want the wedding.
That's American women, brother. That's not.
Well, then black American women is in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you put that on black women, and that's American.
I'm saying majority of them are. Majority of them are. They don't want the duty. Ask a black woman about her duties in marriage and let her break it down to you. And then ask other races and see what the way they reflect it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the worst case, and that mindset doesn't really work, especially for black men. And I'm going to tell you why black men cannot be loyal to black women and when it comes to marriage is because, like you said, if it's all America, then you group them as the same. That means for him to have a wider option, he has to be able to say, I don't have to have a race line. She could be white, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because for him, it's his options. So, yeah. Now, his chances of being with a black woman is higher because it's usually within demographics, right? Average person don't move away the average person doesn't move away from 8-block radius of where they live. So within an 8-block radius, chances are they're only going to come across black women. And the only Chinese women or any other ethnicity are going to be the people that own businesses there. And they're not being checked for. But when you take a man that has means, who has access to international women, then his chances are higher to date whoever he wants. And his status is just similar to that of the white man because we deem them to be higher. You know what I'm saying? Even though Asian men make more than white men, but that's another story.
All right, let's wrap this up. Kev, I appreciate you coming out, man. Where can they find you, brother?
I'll be around. I'm on Facebook at Kevin Jones. But I just want to say that to kind of wrap it up, just where everything's going on in this world today, with this topic, I personally believe that black American man marrying black women is the best option. And if you can't get the results that you want in the black woman that you desire, maybe you need to work on your finances, maybe you need to work on your health, Maybe you need to work on your communication skills. Maybe, you know, you need to work on being more pleasant to that black woman because, you know, if you can't get a top-notch black woman in your own culture, then you most definitely not going to get a top-notch Asian lady or top-notch, you know, white girl. You might get a troller trash, you know, white girl or an Asian girl who's been ran through by the whole football team, and you the one that cuffed her up and marry her. But you know, those are not quality women collectively. And if you want your best options, woman, there's a lot of black women out there who's, you know, taking care of business, who's afraid of, a lot of them don't have kids and things of that nature. So, you know, if you want to get one of those, look at yourself and work on yourself.
All right. Oh, where can they find you, brother?
Hold on, man. I got ringing in my ear. Hold on. Okay. Here's my closing statement, bro. As far as marriage goes, or anything that you feel is worth or worthy to you, to the victor goes the spoils. Because if we're talking about average men, most average men are funny looking and broke. Right? You got to pick a struggle. Most average men lack the confidence to talk to anybody, other women, other men. They just introverted people. You got to pick your poison. Most average men will have to settle for what he can get, and that's fine. That's fine. Average men will get average results. The better man you are, not the better ladies man, because ladies men don't get no pussy. They just get invited to girls' night and hold the purse while girls fuck better men. When you're a better man, you will get a better woman. It doesn't even matter about your socioeconomic status. There's chicks out here that's marrying millionaires and fucking felons on the side. There's women out here who will take care of you and capitulate to your every need if they feel like you can kill a insect. Play your position, be comfortable in your lane. No matter what you want to do, somebody gonna roll with it. When I started to marry your secretary, and I told chicks I'm only fucking with secretaries, and I need a secretary pool. You can call it what you want to call it, sister wives, concubines. You can call it what the fuck you want to call it. I call it secretary pools. When I say, man, I want a secretary pool, girls was like, shit, you can have as many secretaries as you want, as long as I'm the head secretary. Because they don't care about shit. There's always somebody that will go with the program that a man designs for himself. As long as you playing by anybody, I can play football all day. But if I'm playing American football and everybody else playing soccer but calling it football, then I'm gonna lose. Y'all playing a woman's game and saying that y'all out for men, and I'm saying, yo, bro, just on some man shit, whatever the fuck I do, just get down and lay down. And motherfuckers gonna get down. If grown men gonna get down, women gonna get down. But they gotta see it work first. So you work your number until your number come up. And if you do that, man, y'all will be good, dog. Y'all will find whatever type of relationship y'all looking for. You'll find a girl to peg y'all or whatever the fuck type of relationship y'all looking for, and y'all will be alright.
Where can they find you, bro?
Hey, so they can find me at on YouTube, Dirty Folks, IG, Dirty Folks Podcast, Facebook, Dirty Folks Podcast,
I got your links in the description.
on Twitter, Dirty Folks 74. I do want to say one thing, though, to the guys that's watching this. Y'all really need to take advantage of the Marry Your Secretary course. I know that I'm an extreme when I talk, but I'm a very fair and equitable man because politics is the business of business, marriage is the business of business, and man, I'm showing y'all how to make the best deal for yourself. So y'all, I'm gonna make a secretary course for women too, just so y'all can be happy. But that's all I gotta say about that.
Oh, I mean, Gorilla Pete, where they can find you?
Oh man, if FB ain't motherfucker trying to, locked up, oh let me out. For right now, Facebook. I'm on there. You'll catch me on Dirty Folks Live. I'm usually a guest, honorary guest. You know what I'm saying? On Dirty Folks channel. So you probably catch me there a couple days a week. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you'll catch me in the crack house with a Joe Biden crack pipe, and that's where you can find me.
Shout out to
All
Joe.
right. Vaughn. Love Alchemist. Where can they find you, brother?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook at The Love Alchemist. My Facebook page is Vaughn Says, like Simon says, but Vaughn Says. And just, to the point, I see a couple comments, if you build it, they will come. And I like what Oak was saying about, bettering yourself. The better man you become, the better options that are available to you. But that also, being a better man, becoming a better man also includes some level of personability. And women have to like being around you. These days, we're not in the 40s and 30s anymore. And if a woman don't enjoy being around you, there's something to be said about that. You know what I mean? And so your options are going to be limited if women don't enjoy your company. So you can. That being said, this is why I talk about the conditions of love. I don't talk about love as just a feeling. You know what I mean? These feelings of euphoria, these sappy things that so many people get married for. I talk about love as an effort, love as a sacrifice.
Y'all got a book, don't you?
I do have a book. My book is called The Hard Work Book, 31 Days to Mastering Your Relationship. It's, I'll put it up here. I mean, it's a little book that me and the wife wrote together. Y'all say women can't help you. Oak say women can't help you. My wife helped me write this book. You can get that at info@theconditionsoflove.com. I'm sorry, www.theconditionsoflove.com. You can email me at info@theconditionsoflove.com. And like I said, man, be better, you get better results. I'm with that.
All right. Well, I'm Questi Black, the fly bow tie guy. You know what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Well, you can find me on Facebook under Questi Black. You can find me on Instagram under Nagasi Black at Nagasi Black. You can find me on Twitter at Questi Folks. I'm not. In the past, I haven't been that active on those social media sites, but I'm about to get more active. Of course, you can find me on Spoken Truth TV on this channel right here. And as far as services, my wife, the book called "Position Your Man to Win." To cop that. It's a good book. You know what I'm saying? It got some good gems in there, and that's why I'm winning. You know what I mean? So grab that book and see why I'm always winning. For those that still with the culture, the black culture, we got the Black Matters, Black Wealth Matters, Close the Gap, merch. All the links are in the description to the merch and for the book. I have other services, to coaching how to make money online. I'm a marketer. I do paid ads and stuff like that. I've been doing it since 2013. Me and my wife been married for 25 years. We do relationship services too. So you can hit me on Facebook to inquire about that if you want that or make money online. So, and that's pretty much it, y'all. I appreciate everybody that came out. Appreciate Mitchell for the Cash App. Tanisha, shout out for y'all for donating. We need a little bit more, y'all. Show some love to these brothers. They're giving their time. They're taking out hours of their time. It's late at night. They can be with their girlfriend. They can be with their wife right now. They can be doing something else with their time. So I ask y'all to show some love so I can give these brothers some bow ties like me. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the bow tie. The bow tie fly guy.
Saving up for my first one.
Save it up for your first one.
Yes, sir.
Yobo's there, saving his coins.
I need 37 more cents, man. I need 37 more cents. Hit that cash out.
He got good show, y'all. Appreciate everybody coming out. I appreciate everybody coming out. Hopefully, y'all get to hear from the Fly Both Our guy more on the show. You know what I'm saying? I'll let these brothers go in and I'll be messing around with this stuff, highlighting their comments and stuff like that, and the way you rock stuff in without fit in. But hey, these brothers be going in. You know, they all intelligent. I appreciate their time, giving this edutainment to you guys. And on that note, we out.
Peace, family.